Hello everyone and welcome to, well, it's not exactly Survival Live, but it's pretty similar. This is going to be kind of multiplayer live. So the idea is that I have an SMP called play.eyecraftmc.com and are resetting to the second season. I thought I could play some survival with all of you as everyone enjoys the second season of this server. So basically, if you want to know how to join it, you can join my Discord server and put your name there, and we're about to turn on the world. And so basically, everyone will be able to join in just a second here. But yeah, hopefully everyone's having a great Saturday so far. I know I am, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing Minecraft Survival with all of you. Hopefully the stream is working correctly. But yeah, absolutely. So what I'll do is we will just basically turn maintenance mode off, so everyone should be able to connect and start playing survival in just a second. Let me just basically change the game rule here so that time actually passes, as of course we want that to happen because this is actually something we're starting. We're going to do that right now, and basically in about 3, 2, 1 everyone should be able to join. So it is time for Survival Live multiplayer. I might actually have to turn off the chat, unfortunately, just so you can see what's going on, so sorry about that, but here we go. Everyone is starting survival. Hopefully the server doesn't crash. Looks like it might have. It looks like the server might have crashed, which is not shocking, unfortunately. So if you're watching the stream right now, and the server did crash for you, then just let's have to wait for a minute. If people actually leave the hub, and then actually don't rejoin for a minute, that'd be good. So if everyone watching here who's also on the stream, if they actually leave the server, then we can try and connect kind of slowly more over time. So if everyone just wants to leave, that should help things quite a bit, and we can kind of let people connect more slowly there. So yeah, if you want to just kind of slowly connect onto the server there, it looks like everything's working now, so we should be good. And yeah, absolutely. So it's time to start. Now, of course, you know, this is a brand new world. I don't have anything here. Something that I'll often do when I start a new world is kind of try and find stuff. So actually I see there's a village over there, and someone might have looted it already, I'm not sure. But we're going to try and find it, and it looks like once again the server seems to have crashed in some way. So I have a couple technical difficulties here, but thank you to everyone who's joining. And again, we may just have to sort of start these things a bit more slowly. Of course, anything sort of server related is going to have some technical issues to it, unfortunately, but that kind of is the way that it is. And so we'll basically just see if we can join on here. It looks like the server is working. We're just having some weird disconnecting issues, and I can fly here. I shouldn't be able to. It's a little weird. So there's that. Someone said there is PvP and no keep inventory. PvP should be on. I'm not sure why I'm flying. I guess I have the chat enabled there, so we'll do that. If this does end up messing up, we can always switch to the other thing. Again, I'm not sure why I'm flying here. I shouldn't be able to. But I think it's /fly as a command. But either way, hopefully, with a couple crazy things going on here, which, you know, it'll just make things more interesting, hopefully. Hopefully everyone's doing pretty good. So we will just, I think this would turn it off. There we go. So it should be good now. I'm not sure what that was about. But here we go. We have a village, of course. We have all kinds of resources here. We can sort of go there, and I'll probably just turn the chat off again. And then from there we can kind of try and find some things. So of course, if we can grab a bed here, I think multiplayer sleep should be enabled, but we're going to find out when it becomes nighttime, sort of see if we have any issues with, let's say, nighttime passing. But the seed this is on is a really good one. The seed is not public on these servers because unfortunately there does tend to be a lot of things with that. And it looks like someone somehow got a potion. I'm not really sure how, but maybe they found it. But either way, basically, we also have the end dimension disabled for now, just because, of course, we don't want to have the Ender Dragon battle just be sped run by someone, or speed run. Sped run, I don't think that's a word. But yeah, basically we have that. So I guess I'll just start by collecting some wood now that I have that bed there. We do have some potatoes, and of course that'll give us a good food source early on. So we can do that. And someone said it's a series. This is not a series, so this is one of my live streams. It is Survival Live in a sense. It's not part of my main series. This is just when I'm playing Survival with everyone who's on the SMP. As you can see, it's quite full. Seems to actually be running pretty well. Not sure what those issues at the start were, but we should be okay there. So we're just going to kind of go through all of that and basically get all of our materials here and continue on. And there is also a lot of animals around spawn for now. because of course the server just started, so no one's killed them. They haven't been sort of cleared out there. But we're of course going to start with all these basic things, but hopefully everyone's doing pretty well. And if people are wondering, this is vanilla survival, no cheats enabled. We're trying to have a really vanilla Minecraft experience. Just, you know, not even like, let's say, vanilla tweaks. I know a lot of people do prefer, let's say, vanilla tweaks, but I think that in something like this, it's just kind of nice to have, you know, the absolute experience, exactly how Minecraft Mojang sort of intended it there. So we have that. So we're going to go through here. And one thing that's also nice is that the server is actually Bedrock and Java edition. I know a lot of Minecraft servers are one or the other. Most are probably one or the other. But what's really nice about this is because it is both, then people who can't play together normally, maybe you could play with a friend of yours that plays Bedrock edition, and you could kind of do that. So we'll get our stone pickaxe and maybe a stone sword just so that we can get some of these cows. I think I'll actually do a stone axe because then it kind of has multiple purposes to it. Of course, being able to get the mobs as well as other things as well. And it seems not to be lagging too much, which is good. So there's actually an enderman there. We could technically get a really early ender pearl, which would be kind of cool. So maybe I'll do that. I'll set up a little area. I guess there's this kind of tree, but it's not super safe. I guess the enderman, there's an enderman there. So we could do, because we don't have too many blocks on us, is if we dig a little hole over here, then we can probably hide in there and kind of try and grab that enderman. We're going to do that. And we have a super chat. And also, I hope the chat is appearing on the screen correctly. I think it is. The stream is a little bit more rushed, but I think that we should be doing pretty good now that all those technical initial connection issues are gone. And let's see if I can grab that enderman there. Let's get it angry. Is it angry? There we go. It's definitely angry now. Well, it seems to be a little bit slow coming towards me. Could be that someone else is looking at it. I'm not sure. We'll let the enderman travel over here in a little bit of a laggy way. And again, I think it's coming towards me. I think it's kind of taking like a strange route because it's sort of not very many blocks over there. That is an issue with enderman sometimes, is that. But anyway, we do have a super chat from Dirtbag PSN there, so thank you so much for that. And it says excited for season 2, hope my group gets the big mushroom island. Well, we'll see. On the seed there is an absolutely huge mushroom island, probably actually too big for just a single group, but I guess we'll have to find out. Definitely a lot larger than in the first season. And of course, just here, if you're just joining and are not really interested in playing on this server, still definitely an interesting stream, because of course I'll just be playing through some of Survival Minecraft here, definitely trying to throw in some tips and tricks as well. Like for instance, right here, we just of course got this enderman, gave us probably the first grass block of the server. Not like it really matters, because of course there was no ender pearl, but it is still interesting that endermen do have silk touch. It's quite a strange feature in the game, but it is one that exists. And it looks like there's some pillagers over here. There looks like someone also raided that already. That is one thing about multiplayer Minecraft that's definitely important to consider when you're playing in a world like that, is the fact that there tends to be an absolutely like huge amount of people that are going for the structures first, because that does tend to be the best idea, is sort of looting those structures and then going from there. And for people wondering how they can join, basically if you join my Discord server and you put your username under SMP whitelist, and to actually access that channel you have to go to the rules and info, and there you can pick your roles. You can pick the SMP member role. No one's getting whitelisted during the stream just because it doesn't really work, but after the stream you can 100% be whitelisted. And yeah, so we could maybe make somewhat of a base at the pillager outpost, maybe not an actual base, but you know, sort of a outpost of sorts at the outpost, but it probably won't. I have a friend who a while ago, what they did is they actually made their first base at a pillager outpost, basically in a peaceful mode world, of course. There's no pillagers there, but the unfortunate thing is that now in that world they sort of want to play in not peaceful mode, and so because of that they can't really, just because of course then that pillager outpost would be completely full of pillagers, which is not a good thing at all. Someone said, how is there a daytime enderman? That is a good question, and I would say mostly that would be because it must have spawned underground, and then from being underground teleported back up. And we also have someone who rejoined their membership to the iSquad, and they're one of our only members who have gold rank. I know Dirtbag does, but also Lucas does, and thank you so much for that. 2 more months of membership, channel's going strong. Thank you for that. I really am happy with the streams and sort of how they're going. Unfortunately, Minecraft in general isn't actually doing the best right now in terms of popularity. I'm not sure if anyone's noticed that or not. I think it's because of a lot of different things, but you know, as with all these things, popularity sort of changes, and I'm sure with sort of the holiday season and things like that, it'll pick back up. And it's so funny to me how the magma texture is like 100% like a hot netherrack, like it's not stone. I mentioned this before in a video, but you can kind of tell like this is obviously not stone, it is netherrack. So like when you see magma blocks kind of randomly in the overworld, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And we'll go through here. And we have another super chat, and it is from Limited, and it says, Peace Isle has made it to the Mushroom Island. Very cool. I'm not sure if it's the same Mushroom Island or a different one. There are a lot on here, but that's pretty cool. On this server, something I decided to do is to actually move the spawn point, not in 0, but to have it a little bit further away. And the reason why is kind of simple. Basically, it's that I want on this server everyone to build a big city, sort of in this plains biome here. And the spawn point was kind of like a swamp before. The actual seed's quite a good one, so I'm not just, you know, picking a random seed, not wanting to change it. But of course, you know, I think that having kind of a massive group project could definitely be a cool thing. Let's see if we can pick that up, lagging a little bit there, but nothing too crazy. So kind of have to maybe wait a second as we break these blocks, but definitely some standard things. The server is a little bit full, as you can tell. It's thankfully we've not had too many issues. I was doing a multiplayer event a while ago, and we had more issues there, but I think that was mostly because of command blocks causing issues. So this isn't doing too bad. Now, I guess, yeah, just sort of getting the resources around here. I see some coal and some copper. Of course, when you're first starting out Minecraft, what you always want to do is grab these sort of basic resources. But of course, also where I am right now, I don't have a lot of hunger value. So what I think I'll do is I will make a small little base, not really a base, but just a little area to start out with. I'm not sure where my long-term base will be, but then I can kind of cook up some of these things that I found for food. And it's always so fun to me, you know, the very, very early stages of the game. And I was trying to think a while ago, why is it that those parts of the game are so enjoyable? And I think what it is they haven't changed since the very early days of the game, you know, back in Minecraft beta or 1.0, or just, you know, very old versions of the game. Of course, people were still kind of starting the game by gathering their initial resources, by, you know, killing all the different animals around spawn and going from there. So it's kind of a cool thing that that's stayed the exact same throughout all of that. And hopefully the lag here on the server gets a little bit better soon, but we'll find out. We'll go through here. Someone asks in the chat, is there a seed generator that allows you to adjust parameters to give you the type of world you want while still keeping things somewhat random? There kind of is. So finding seeds is pretty complicated, actually, if you want to not just, let's say, randomly look through them. There is something called, I think it's called cube biomes, something like that. And I think it's a program that Dream used to find PewDiePie's seed. But basically, I used that to find this, actually, because I've got a sorting thing on there that will find island seeds, because this is a giant island ROM. So there is kind of a way of doing it. It's a bit complicated though, and you definitely want to know like exactly what you want before. And then of course, if you make things too limited, like let's say, you know, you need to have 3 pillager outposts and 5 villages and 2 woodland mansions or something like that, where you're kind of setting way too many conditions, then if you have that happen, there can be issues 100% with sort of not being able to find the seed in any good time, because it's just the chance of something like that is super rare. So let's switch out the meat that we're cooking here in just a second. Generally, if you're quick enough, you can not lose very much fuel. We should have enough fuel to cook all this, but we're going to find that out and go through here. Someone said there's a similar type of lag in their single-player survival server. Yeah, it's like the same idea. Basically, just that the server is taking a while to communicate with it. But as you can see on the tab menu here, there's a lot of people. Shout out to everyone on the server right now. We have Bedrock players and Java players. And it looks like actually for some of them, some of the Bedrock players' skins are loading in, which is really cool, because sometimes it doesn't. And there's a spider that looks like it was about to come after us, but it came into the light and it changed its mind. That's kind of funny. There's like someone random here, but let's take a look. Now the spider is coming towards us, I think. It's hard to say because the server is lagging just a little bit. And see if we can get it. It's kind of lagging because like that hit it pretty quick. So we should be able to get like 1 or 2 more hits. If we aren't actually dying, there's like a creeper there might run away. Oh, there we go. All right. And let's see what else we have cooking here. The steak and all that. So I guess iron, of course, is our big next goal. We want to be careful about that creeper there. What I might do in a second once this is done cooking is I might move to a different area a little bit further from spawn, because then I can find a cave that's going to be unlooted, and looks like there's some mobs coming after us. So what I'll probably do, if I can do it in time, because of course we do have this pretty heavy lag on the server. It's not that bad, but we can kind of grab these items. And I think I'll just get out of here honestly before that skeleton shoots us, although I'm not sure if the skeleton will be able to correctly because it's lagging so much. So I think we'll go over here and kind of try and get to a different area, and then from there we can grab some iron and all that, and we'll probably just pillar up with our dirt here. So it seems like placing blocks seems to be fine. It's actually a funny thing I've noticed oftentimes with server lag, and it probably gives a lot of interesting information about like just how servers work, is that placing the blocks tends to be not that laggy, but it's breaking the blocks. So I'm not sure again if maybe just because placing blocks is more server side or is more client side, but it is interesting for sure. So an interesting question as well, many interesting things in this stream, and it says, favorite base location. I like cliffside bases for the views. Cliffside bases are definitely really cool, and I enjoy all kinds of different server base locations. I would say that my favorite one, probably in the middle of a forest. I do really enjoy that. I think that having the easy access to trees, as well as that also most forests are sort of more flat, so like once you've cleared out some trees you kind of have more of an area. And there's of course still more people around here. We'll probably try and go a little bit further out, maybe 300 or 400 blocks out, then we can kind of start breaking down some trees and doing that. But I think we're doing pretty good overall, and of course now we're quite hungry, but it's a good thing we cooked up that food so we can get our hunger refilled. But forests are a good thing, especially early game. Now I did make a video a little while ago, that in fact I think it was just yesterday it came out. It was how to build a starter base, and something that I was going to have in that video, but I didn't end up having it just because of time reasons, because the video was too long already, was talking about all the different benefits of different areas that bases can be built. And it is kind of interesting because of course depending on where you are, there's kind of reasons to be in certain areas. So for instance, if you're in a desert, you could of course make a base out of sandstone, whereas normally you'd have to find a beach, then craft the sand into sandstone, and it'd be much more difficult that way. So of course, you know, sort of base location in a sense doesn't just determine, you know, the location you're in terms of the views and all that, but it also really does mess around with and change the actual things that you're building, which is cool. Someone says, what's the main benefit of being in a snow biome? The benefit of being in a snow biome, I would say, is that you do have easy access to snow. Snow is a really easy building block to use. And of course, as well as that, there is a decent amount of structures in a snow biome. So for instance, you have, of course, the igloo. There's also the snowy village. And if there is like a wintry taiga biome, that's quite a cool biome in terms of decoration. Let's say you want like a Christmassy themed build or whatever. And chopping down these trees is a little bit annoying, to be honest, with the lag, but we almost have enough logs. I think we can probably stop at this one actually, and then we can go on to kind of probably getting iron. I mean, I don't have a massive reason to have a base on here. The thing is too, is of course with this many players on, the mob cap is spread between so many players that we shouldn't have too much of an issue of running into hostile mobs if we go into a cave. So for instance, right here. That's pretty convenient, and seems to go pretty low as well, of course, because with iron you want to go lower or higher. That is something that a lot of people dislike about 1.18, is the fact that you do sort of have to do this thing where you cannot just mine iron at the level that you're at. You have to actually go lower or higher to find more of the iron. But I think that overall it's a decently good change, because of course in real life different materials are more or less common at different heights because of just, I don't know, I'm not a geologist, but of course it does make sense that way. We'll craft some torches. Well, we don't really need to, but just in terms of visibility we can do that and kind of take a look around here. So let's see, so this actually goes quite low, which is nice. I think that even something as simple as coal, if you're not speedrunning a world, and of course people can't speedrun this because we have the end disabled right now, which later on will be enabled so people can defeat the Ender Dragon, but for now it is disabled. And so basically, I would say that, you know, if you find a big pocket of coal, let's say, may as well mine out that entire coal ore vein, just because you know, it's good to have those resources later on. Someone said, they're hoping everyone has an amazing weekend. Well, thank you so much for that to Miss Frosty Ghost. I hope everyone is having an amazing weekend as well. Be sure to tell me about that in the chat right now. Also, be sure to like the stream if you just joined it. That'll help it reach more people, and more people can watch me sort of play survival with my fans. Maybe not with, I know we're a little bit further away. But once we get some iron stuff, we can kind of join back with everyone else. I just want to see if I can get a little bit of a early start here to some things. We found another Enderman. We're like getting way more Enderman than probably anyone else. There's a name tag over there. There is, I'm not sure exactly how many. I'm going to say probably about 100 people on the server right now. But there is this kind of ravine, and that goes super low. That actually, you can see iron that's down there, which is good. But of course, with the creepers are a little bit dangerous when it's laggy, if not very dangerous, because of course, without that super quick response time, it can be more difficult to deal with things. So what we'll do is we'll hit that. And also, if you're wondering about, let's say, the lag long term, of course, the server is only lagging right now because of how many people being on. Later on, there'll definitely be very standard server performance there. So we'll grab this. And hopefully we'll get an ender pearl this time as well. So a little bit earlier, I actually got this grass block from an enderman because it was holding a grass block, since of course endermen have silk touch. And so I'm hoping this time I'll actually get more lucky and I'll actually get the ender pearl. No, we did not get the ender pearl, but the enderman seems to be taking quite a while to die there. Now I did see right over here, we saw that creeper down there. There's not sure what else there is in terms of mobs. I don't have a water bucket, of course, so I'd have to kind of be careful to get down there. But we definitely could. I want to be careful as well since we have that lava there. So what I might do is I might grab some of like these planks and kind of try and branch out over there. Now if the multiplayer sleep isn't on, it definitely should be turned on. We're going to find out if it is in a second here. But of course, multiplayer sleep is a game mode, not a game mode, but a game rule that was added not even that long ago that basically makes it so that you can have one player sleep and the night is skipped for all the players, which is really useful in multiplayer because of course in that sort of scenario, then definitely there's issues with that. So let's see here. So we could jump into the water. We just have to be careful of the creeper. I think if we jump in and then kind of swim upwards, we should be okay. So if I sort of bridge this way, yeah, if we get to kind of the source there, because I don't see any other mobs. It looks like we do need to have everyone sleeping, so I'll just quickly turn on the chat here, and then I'll change that game rule. Of course, this isn't a world with cheats enabled, but the game rule, if you're wondering, I think it's player sleeping percentage, and we'll just set that to 1, and then hopefully the night will be skipped there. So, yeah, in fact, it said how many players were there. I think it said like something like 104 or something. I'm not sure exactly what the number was, but that's pretty good. So thank you to everyone who's on right now. And of course, we should have a lot less lag issues later on as well. But yeah, let's jump into this water here. Hopefully we don't die. We'll try and escape the wrath of this creeper. I'm not sure if the creeper will even notice us for a while because the server is lagging so much. But I see a skeleton there too. So there may be other players nearby. Because generally, there's another enderman. We're getting so many endermen. But generally, there shouldn't be this many mobs in a cave like this. But there's tons of iron. So we may die here, I guess. In fact, what I'll do is I'll set my spawn point. I think it's set. It's not showing me because of the chat being disabled. And then hopefully if I do die around here, it's fine because I can just grab my items again. Because of course with 4 levels, there's not too much of a risk, too much of an issue with dying. I do of course see the skeleton approaching me now. It's going to be very difficult to fight it when it's lagging this much. At least I think it will be. Maybe not. Maybe the skeleton will be easy mode when it's lagging like this. We'll find out. We can do that. Probably not. We'll find out. There we go. I think one more hit should be good. There we go. We did get it. And we're getting like no mob drops from these things, but that's okay. Someone asks, is there a good biome for Halloween themed builds? That is an interesting question. I mean, of course, maybe certain nether biomes would be good. But if something in the overworld, you know, I think that every biome sort of has like a season that you could place it in. Like, let's say the flower forest is like spring. There's all the flowers out there. Same with the sunflower fields, although not really, because of course in reality sunflowers bloom later on. But summer biomes would be like the jungle or the coral reef. So in terms of fall themed biomes, things that would also sort of fit with Halloween. The mega taiga to me seems like a fall biome. I'm not sure of too much else. The birch forest kind of theme, it seems like that. Of course, you do get these giant trees with the mega taiga, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I would say probably the mega taiga can look kind of creepy. Spruce taiga, which is basically the same, just differently shaped trees. So yeah, we have that as well. and we'll go over this way, and let's see what we can find in terms of materials. So we do have more iron here, more zombies as well. Seems like we actually can fight these. We just have to sort of be careful. This seems like a decent cave, like pretty early on too. And also thank you there to Son of Thunder for joining the I Squad. If you're wondering what the I Squad is, it is my channel membership program. Oh, and I'm getting hurt here from the zombie, so it's probably in a different position than it looks like it is. But basically, with the membership program there, then you'll have access to all kinds of different things, including special community posts, as well as a rank in my Discord, and the ability to have all the cool emotes. And if, in fact, if anyone in the chat right now who has the iSquad rank, if you want to use your emotes right there, that'd be cool. We have all kinds of awesome emotes here that was made by Mythic Mutations. I always try and shout out them because I just really enjoy the art that they made for that. Let's see if we can laggily break the coal blocks here and kind of get more materials. Again, lots of people on right now, but I think that overall it's doing pretty well. We have all kinds of people that are on, which is cool. So we'll go through here, and I think this seems to get lower. So I'm assuming that we can find some diamonds that way, and then of course with those diamonds we can sort of continue on with our progression chain. It's always nice to progress through the game quickly. Well, like I was saying earlier, I kind of enjoy both the progression chain as well as, of course, actually just playing the game and enjoying every stage of it. So we'll grab this, and I think we're actually good on coal. We have about 20 pieces. I don't see anyone else near me, which is good. So if there is anything down here, it shouldn't be taken before we can grab it. But I think this might stop. We're going to find out. So it does get a little bit lower here. It does look like it's a dead end, unfortunately. It kind of starts to reach the deep slate, but then unfortunately it just dies off. So maybe over here though. Oh yeah, look at this. We have a little tunnel that goes down though. That's pretty cool. We'll grab this iron though, and then we can probably start smelting it. And kind of from there get our different materials. So we'll go through here, and we will grab all the iron that we can find. There's also some up here. Now, funny enough, when you have an ore that generates like this one did right next to the deep slate layer, you'll sort of have pieces of it that turn into the deep slate ore, and then pieces of it that will turn into the stone ore. And so oftentimes that's what'll happen. You find like a deep slate emerald ore, is it'll be that the ore is actually just kind of mixed between both of those, which is quite cool. So I haven't found a deep slate emerald though for a long time, as of course they're actually the rarest ore in the entire game. So some people think that deep slate coal is the rarest. The rarest is actually deep slate emerald, because emeralds are definitely more rare than coal. Now we have 12 iron, which is pretty good. We can get ourselves, you know, a sword and a shield and a pickaxe. So we'll get our furnace set up. We'll probably go a little lower so we can kind of mine as we wait. It's always good to do multiple things at once. There's some redstone even, and some copper, so we can grab all these things. Yeah, let's make a little sort of micro base again under here. This time we have more fuel and more things to smelt, and we can set up a little crafting table also as we let that happen. And we could even maybe cook our last thing here. We have some bread from the village apparently. I didn't even remember we grabbed that, but we have that as well. Someone says, why does their Java edition look so much worse than mine? I'm not sure in what way you're talking. Now, something you could be experiencing is in video settings, smooth lighting. If you have that off, this is what it'll look like, kind of like very old and chunky and whatever. That's because the lighting does not go across. But if you just go to your video settings, turn smooth lighting on to minimum or even maximum, I do maximum, then you get that better look. And that's actually way more important than most graphic settings, is just that setting right there of the smooth lighting. So once we get enough iron, which seems to be smelting slower than normal, maybe it's not, but I think it is because of the lag, then what we can do is we can of course start mining the materials that need an iron pickaxe to mine. So for instance, we can't mine the redstone without an iron pickaxe. Interestingly enough, you can mine lapis with a stone pickaxe, but you cannot mine the redstone. So we're going to go over here, grab the rest of this iron as well, and get that smelting. Someone said, how do you join on Bedrock? So on Bedrock on Pocket Edition and Windows 10, so it cannot be Console Edition just because of the way that Console Edition works. All you have to do is go to your servers, and then you can actually just add a new server. Under the information we have the port, but I think it's just the default port, so it should be fine. That's basically how you join on Bedrock, and of course, the same thing as everyone else, making sure you're whitelisted. You can put your name in the whitelist and just make sure to say that you're playing on Bedrock Edition. And we'll try and grab this. It's actually a pretty decently sized iron ore vein, which is nice. And I think that once like it looks like I've broken it, it is. I just have to wait a minute, so I can probably go on to the next ores and kind of mine those out and not have to worry about mining it multiple times. I think so. We'll find out, because like this here doesn't seem to have really been mined out all the way. So we'll go over here and do that. We'll do this. Someone says, do I use any graphic packs? No, I do not. This is completely vanilla. I could, but I don't, so we'll do that. And then we almost have enough of these. I am on Optifine right now, but that's not really a graphics pack. Sort of just more of a standard thing. And of course, you know, usually what this series is it's Survival Live, which it is the thumbnail, and it is kind of Survival Live. It's just a different type of survival. This is on my SMP, play.eyecraftmc.com. But normally Survival Live, it tends to be something where, of course, we've gotten a bit more late game. And I do still plan to do Survival Live, so no problem with that. I may take like a 1 or 2 week break for it during like the Christmas week or whatever. But other than that, I think we'll keep it up for a while, and probably as well as that do it next year as well. I think I want to kind of continue going on with that until we've definitely covered the entire game. Currently we're working on a mega base there. If you're someone who watches my streams quite a bit, there's that. And also, if you happen to miss it, I know YouTube hasn't been sending out like my posts or my videos to people very much recently. I'm not sure why. So you very well may have actually missed some of my most recent videos. So if you check my posts page and my videos page on my channel, you may be surprised to see some new iCraft content there that you didn't even know was out, because just YouTube didn't show it to very many. Let's go over here, and our iron has smelted enough to get our pickaxe, which of course is the third best pickaxe, kind of. Of course, gold technically is better, but not really. And we'll go over here. And also, so we have the deep slate copper, and I don't think we'll grab the copper. I don't see a reason to grab the copper. We will grab the redstone. I don't really have any major plans for this. I just sort of progressing through the game, eventually helping everyone get the big city built. I'm sure everyone else is also just sort of progressing, getting diamonds, strip mining, all these things, which is kind of cool. And in a second, once we're done getting some iron armor and maybe a couple diamonds, we'll definitely go and we'll check up on what everyone else is doing and definitely make this be more of a multiplayer thing. There's literally 1 gold there, which is perfect. No more than 1. I don't really need any gold, but okay, there we go. We could grab some of the copper as well. I sort of always decide in a world whether or not I'm going to grab the copper. Because of course, you know, copper ore is a nice thing, but there's also a point as well where copper ore isn't really that beneficial compared to most other ores. And so if you, let's say, have limited mining room, or you just don't really want to waste time, not always the best idea to mine the copper there. And someone said live or just playing a video. Well, it's definitely live. There are people playing on this server right now. But it is a live video. Sometimes people think it is a video just because I tend to be pretty decent at still sounding fairly polished on these, but yeah, no, this is a live stream. And also thank you to 2 people. So thank you to Lucas for the $20 super sticker of #1 with the Shiba Inu there. I always love those dogs, the Shiba, sort of the meme dog. One of my favorites. I probably want to get one of those in real life one day. They're so cute. But thank you for that, and also thank you to Retro Tech for renewing their subscription to the iSquad. It looks like they now are at copper rank, which means they've been for 2 months, I believe. So, or I maybe just finished the first month. Now, this goes lower again. This is actually kind of cool. We're getting like a really good cave system here, to be honest. I'm kind of happy with this. And if we go back down here, I bet our smelter is almost done. So if we break that, we can go back around and really simply sort of continue on. And no, it's not done. It's just going so slow. What we'll do then is I'll put the rest, this is tons of iron we got. I'll just let all this smelt. And I think I'll just sort of craft maybe a shield. A shield's a pretty good thing to have. In fact, incredibly important. I found a lot of people won't make a shield, but that can totally be a fatal error to make, is not making a shield. So you always want to have a shield. Really important to do that. And I think we'll also make, I was going to make a sword, but now that I think about it, I'll probably do shears and a axe, I think. It's probably the best idea, because then I have that weapon, and of course we have the shield here to be sort of like armor. And once all this smelts, actually, we should have enough for full iron armor. And because this goes higher and then lower again, there's also a big opportunity here to have more and more iron. Someone said, is this single player? It is not single player. This is actually a multiplayer world, just like what the thumbnail shows. But basically, I am just a little bit separated for now. But once I get some more stuff, we are going to go meet up with everyone and sort of see what everyone else is up to. So we're just going to grab a couple more things because we found this really lucky cave here, really nice cave. So I want to make sure that there might be anything of interest here, something useful, something that we could, you know, potentially get early, like some diamonds maybe. This goes so low so quickly. You can even see this apparently goes into a huge cave, I guess. There very likely could be diamonds down here. In fact, this part goes even lower, but I think it stops. It's funny, there's like these weird sort of ravine or maybe like kind of jagged cuts sort of that happen in the caves with this one cave type. And I see actually a name tag there. There's some people on that there's actually someone over there. That's funny. I don't know if they noticed that I'm here or not. But we'll see if we can fight against the water and sort of go this way. There could be strip mining because we're kind of, yeah, we're pretty low. They probably are strip mining, which is interesting. I wonder if they've gotten lucky with diamonds or not. I'm not sure, but we're going to go over here and again, just kind of keep looking. There's some lapis. We do have our iron pickaxe here. May as well mine this. And of course, might take a little bit of time, but we have this nice cave. Maybe we can grab all that as well. And that's that. Someone said, what is the IP? The IP is play.eyecraftmc.com. But you do have to be whitelisted to join on this, as of course, unfortunately, people do exist that like to hack servers and grief and things like that. So with a whitelist, then we can sort of protect against that. Because then if people do things like that, we can sort of make sure that they can't join on again. So we'll go over here. And I think, like, this seems like a very sort of diamond filled cave. Now it doesn't seem to be, but it looks like something at the right height, very wide, lots of exposed blocks. I don't actually see anything really, but oh, look at that. That's huge. There's no way there's not diamonds here. Like, I guarantee you there's some diamonds here. And there's actually oh, there is right there. I see it. Look at that. We'll get diamonds on stream. That's awesome. There's also a gold armor baby zombie though, so we know where this is. There was someone we saw a little while ago, but I think we're good. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head back to our sort of little area we found. We definitely got like an amazing cave network here, which is great. But what I should probably do is make my way back to where I was and then try and get some iron armor. I guess the problem currently is that of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually let that all smelt through. So we could try killing the baby zombie and going from there. And oh my goodness. when I thought that Dirtbag PSN couldn't be any more generous on a stream, we have here a donation for $200 USD as well. I'm from Canada, so that's worth even more. And it says, I've been waiting for a build tutorial from you, and the one you released was awesome. Thanks. Well, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate the super chat. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Actually messed up a couple times in the editing there of that video, which is unfortunate and nothing crazy at all, just like a couple double takes. But yeah, definitely I'm going to get the YouTube editor thing to fix it, because you can kind of fix those things after. But thank you so much for that. And we're going to go this way. Now I think if I go like this, there we go. Over here. Oh, and actually I should not have done that. We have a baby zombie now. There we go. I'm not gonna get die like, let's say Philza did that one time. It was so sad with a baby zombie. And we actually have a second super chat from Son O Thunder. It says, if you're having fun watching, donate the like button. It's free. I mean, this is very good advice. I 100% endorse this, because pressing the like button, it really does help the server, not the server, but it helps out the stream a whole lot. And it definitely is something that I appreciate, and I really appreciate the super chats, as well as even just people who join on to watch the stream and enjoy it. Any support helps a bunch. Now we're going to get this gold zombie here. I'm not sure how rare that is, not too much. I think that gold armor is actually the most common for them. No idea why. It could be something to do with like the magic sort of system that Minecraft has, but it is interesting. And we'll try and, it looks like I can actually pick up items as well, so that's an interesting thing as well, that it can do that. I know, of course, certain mobs can, certain can't. It's actually jumping up to be hit, so it's kind of convenient for us. We can get lower, because we can be pretty close to this. I should be dead in like 1 or 2 more hits. I don't actually see any more mobs around here. And the thing is, like I was saying, I think in terms of the mob cap, there's probably like 1 or 2 mobs per person, so it's going to be pretty standard there. But there we go. We got it finally. Picking up items seems to be not laggy. Now I have a little coal. Like I say, I don't have any. I do have some. So we will make this into torches, and we will go this way and kind of go through there. Someone said burn them with lava. If I had lava, I definitely would do that, but I do not have any. There's some lava here, actually. I could grab that. Well, there's a zombie as well. Seems like it's guarding the diamonds that were there. This is an amazing cave, though. So many ores here, and actually gets... I just looked at an Enderman. Maybe not. But either way, there is a amazing cave here, so this is great for us. Going to give us an amazing start on this world. And once we get those diamonds, some other things, we should be able to go from there. But I should stop exploring. I should mine those diamonds. This is multiplayer, so 100% someone could sweep in and grab those before I did, although it's unlikely. It's always good to sort of be aware of that. And I actually see more diamonds up there on the roof. If you look up there, there's 2 diamonds over there. So we're going to grab those also and then kind of go from there. And I thought I saw another hostile as well, actually. There's 2 zombies now. I think those are zombie reinforcements, if I think about that, just because of the way they work. So we'll try and grab this. I think we should be able to grab these without dying, but we're going to find out. We actually have our spawn point set fairly nearby, so we should be okay. But I think like it's messing up with the axe timings there, so probably a sword would be better, just because then we don't have to be as specifically timed, like sort of missing shots and whatever like there. But I think we're okay. We'll just have to kind of walk backwards, because like what kind of happens is the server and the world that you're on will process where that mob is differently. So it'll sort of think that this mob might be in a different position than it is, because of course you're seeing it lagged, but the mob itself might be being loaded incorrectly. And so because of that, you want to be kind of aware. But there is that 1 diamond. I'm not sure if it's multiple diamonds or just 1. We're going to find out. It looks like just 1, but let's see what's around here. Do we have any torches to place down? We don't. We'll grab this one. It's funny, the torch seemed to break really instantly. That's kind of funny that the torch did, but blocks didn't. Not sure what that's really about. But either way, it does seem to just be 1 diamond. The good news is, as we saw earlier, there does happen to be some other materials that are above there. So we're going to pile up to that. I think that there's also this zombie. There's those diamonds there. So we'll do it with cobblestone, I think. And then we can kind of go from there and try and find our way this way. The mobs do seem to be a lot slower because of the lag, so that's kind of a good thing. And it's a good thing we have some food. We don't have a lot, but we have kind of enough. And I would always suggest to never go caving until you have a little bit of food, because the worst thing in Minecraft, not the worst, but one of the worst, is to find some great resources and then end up just starving to death and losing all the resources because you didn't have any food. Because of course, you know, something like food is pretty simple, and so it's always good to get those basics done correctly. What is your favorite farm to build in survival? Someone asks in the chat there. My favorite farm to build in survival. I really like witch farms, actually. I haven't built them that often just because there's not always a good opportunity to do it. But I really think they're quite underrated. They're incredibly easy. They give you tons of redstone, glowstone, sticks, bottles, spider eyes, gunpowder, which is really important. So it's like kind of a creeper farm, but it also gives you that redstone, and the redstone is super good, super useful. So let's see here. We have 3 diamonds now. That's enough to make a diamond pickaxe, which is kind of technically what we want, I guess. Now I just realized actually mining down this pillar will be really annoying. So what we could do is kind of make our way a staircase downwards. We can mine these other materials. I want to go back to my smelter and kind of grab what's there before I explore this anymore. It's a big area, and you can see the mobs all around are kind of trying to follow me, like the ones beneath there. So I should probably just go over there to my entrance, and then from there we can sort of make our way back, get the coal out of the furnace, kind of go from there. We'll get a little hurt there, but it should be okay. And then we can just kind of travel this way, block it up a bit so that no mobs can reach us. And we can go over here, and careful with the lava there. I guess I'll have to kind of break this. It is funny how the torches instantly break, but the blocks don't. Not sure what that's about. But anyway, so it goes around here, and we sort of have to go upwards. Bit of a maze, but overall it's pretty good. And again, if you're just joining the stream, I'm playing multiplayer survival Minecraft live with all of my fans on the server here. You can see with the tab menu on, it's absolutely full of people, tons and tons of people on there. And I will meet with everyone soon here, but we just need to get a couple basic materials so that we're not, of course, you know, with stone tools here. And then, of course, from that point, we can kind of more usefully do things usefully. But yeah, so for instance, of course, getting an enchanting table, maybe another portal, just base game stuff like that, going through it pretty quickly. But welcome everyone to the stream who's just joining. Be sure to like the stream. Liking the stream really does help out my channel and also the stream itself. Seems to be some items that are falling around here. Now 16 iron isn't an insane amount, but we'll see what we can get with it. I think we can do everything but the chest plate there, so we'll do the leggings, the boots, and then of course also the helmet. So that should give us a lot of protection against those different mobs. It looks like we're kind of have like the elytra set up on with everything but the chest plate there. But either way, we'll let those continue to smelt through. I think they're smelting slower than normal, but I'm not actually sure. I guess what I could do is I could make multiple smelters and kind of go with it like that. I did see some iron ore up here as well, so we may grab that. And my inventory is so unsorted, it's crazy. I definitely see why Mojang wants to add, let's say, bundles to the game, because for instance here, it's like the 1 birch sapling, 1 oak sapling, 3 wheat seeds, dandelion, those kind of things. You know, those are absolutely, you know, just kind of useless to have an entire stack dedicated to that. So I know a lot of people throw those away. I tend not to, but of course I do 100% see the reason why. Because we have the iron armor, I think we can much more sort of dangerously go ahead and try and get whatever else is there. Could be more diamond, could be other things as well. Kind of progressing and to go that way. And again, to everyone who's asking, the IP is play.eyecraftmc.com. And the way to join is to join my Discord server and put your name under the whitelist. But of course, at this point, anyone who's not whitelisted already cannot join until after the stream, just based on technical reasons. And we're going to go over here. But the actual SMP is up for a long time. I want this SMP to be up for about a year. The other one was up for quite a while, I think since like April of this year, maybe like March or April, somewhere in there, I forget. It was down for a little while, but overall it stayed up. And this time I want to do something really big. Everyone will work together to build a city basically at the spawn point, which is like this massive plains biome, and to sort of be more organized and have more group projects that way. But anyway, we're going to go back down here to our massive cave where we found tons of stuff before. Again, it's sort of a bit of a maze, but once we're back there we should be fine. So I think it was, there's a name there, like someone's pretty close to me. I'm not sure if they realize how close they are, which is kind of interesting. But we're going to go over here, and I believe it's just through this. Yeah, just a separate entrance. I guess we didn't use this entrance before. There's those zombies, they're so laggy. We're going to mine this iron here. We're still pretty low on iron. We do have diamonds, we got 3 of them here. We're going to try and get some more. And I guess a good question would be, when you play Minecraft, do you tend to like to super quickly get your diamonds, or do you sort of want to slowly go through the progression of the game, and from that point maybe just, and if you find some diamonds, go with it, but you know, not stress too much about, let's say, trying to find different materials really early on. Interesting to know that. I know for me personally, I kind of do a mix of that. Some worlds I'll kind of focus more on diamonds and getting those things really quickly, but some of them, it can just be really enjoyable to enjoy every part of the game without too many sort of time constraints. And of course we have a baby zombie here, but the adult zombies are so slow, I feel like the baby zombie isn't going to be an issue either. It does allow us to hit us. There's a lot more zombies there too, so basically zombies work really strangely. They have this thing called zombie reinforcements, and what it means is that the zombies will kind of spawn in more zombies, or they can, whenever you hurt them. So for instance, right here with all the lag and killing these zombies really quickly, that's definitely something that would be sort of the prime thing for zombie reinforcements. And so because of that, even though you'd assume, well, how are there any mobs here? Because of course the mob cap is across like the insane amount of players on here right now. These easily could be from zombie reinforcements that they spawned in. Alright, so let's see what we have here. We do have a lot of different materials around. Of course, there's always, you know, in a single player world, let's say, I wouldn't necessarily recommend mining all this right now. You might want to wait till you get fortune, come back later, get everything out of it. But on multiplayer, definitely it can be good to just mine things really quickly as you find them. And we get that. And we have an answer to the question, and it says, I like to start by caving for hours on end and light everything up. Finding diamonds is exciting, but I do like the adventure. Caving is super fun, and I really enjoy caving actually. I think a lot of players will just go to strip mining, and they, you know, they'll kind of wonder, well, why aren't they finding Minecraft fun? And maybe some of it could be the fact that they're maybe not enjoying all the different progressions of the game, because, you know, the actual early stages of the game are quite fun. And so it can definitely be nice to have sort of enjoying caving and adventuring, and sometimes I'll even cave more late game, so I definitely enjoy doing that as well. We'll get the rest of this lapis here. Something really funny that most people don't actually know is that fortune is just as effective on every single material that's an ore, of course, except for one, which is redstone. So it's actually not very effective on redstone. I have no idea why. Like, there must be some reason behind that. Minecraft's usually pretty logical, but yeah, it's sort of interesting because we do have that feature. So with most things, it's about 2.2 times or 220% more. But with the redstone, it's actually only 33% more, or 1.33 times. And so, like, if you're mining redstone, there's actually not much of a point to waiting until after you get some stuff. But I think once we're done with the things in this cave, we'll probably go out and explore, see what everyone else is doing. You know, this is multiplayer survival, and so we can enjoy that. Someone said they usually speedrun going into a cave, dying, and starting again. I know a lot of people will do that. There's definitely a lot of risk to caving early on, but you kind of have to. See here. Someone says it seems like I've forgotten about food issues. I've not forgotten about food issues, but we do have 3 hunger bars there. We can definitely eat some of that. We also have some rotten flesh from the mobs around here, and so we can eat that as well if we need to. I guess redstone and gold aren't that important at this stage. The iron kind of is, though, so we might look for a bit more iron. The cave also kind of goes further. It's just that we don't really have anything to light it up with because all of our coal is up there. And earlier I was talking about how, you know, it's good to mine a lot of coal. This is sort of an example of that, where, for instance, here it's kind of hard to see, so not really ideal to try caving here. We'll look for like a second, but I think that, you know, long term, of course, is pretty bad, and there's a lot of mobs over here, so we'll probably just go this way, sort of stumbling through the dark here, and try and be careful with that. But overall, we're doing pretty good. So let's see, it looks like, again, there are some mobs spawning. I'm not sure if that means there's a lot of players nearby. It definitely could. Let's see here what we have in terms of materials and things. I think we're looking pretty good, honestly, in terms of materials. I mean, redstone and iron are good. They're not that useful. So what I'll do is I'll kind of head back to our furnace. We should have enough for full iron armor then, I'm hoping anyway. We can smelt the rest of the iron that we found, and I think we'll also look for iron on our way back. There's definitely no more diamonds in that cave, and so of course, you know, diamonds are the big thing that we're looking for. So without any diamonds to find there, there's not a massive reason to keep going. And people say, someone's saying in the chat there, they do tend to risk it when they're, let's say, in hardcore. Because as long as you survive long enough to get your full iron set, you're fine. Definitely true, and of course with hardcore, usually better to have a good start. Generally hardcore success tends to be based on, you know, what you can get early game there. And sorry to everyone who can see nothing. There does seem to be some iron up here though. So I'm gonna, here, I'll light up the redstone there. This kind of goes through here as well. We're a bit higher up, so there should be some more iron here. We're just going to grab a bit more. I think that iron is still our major need here to get our iron tool set, to get our iron armor. Of course, diamonds at this stage just would take too long to strip mine all of those, so we'll grab that. We can go through this way. And someone also says they like to play like they're marooned and establish food and shelter, then explore their surroundings. And that's a really fun way of playing as well, for sure. I definitely know that for me, sort of using seed maps or not really does change the entire fundamentals of how the game feels to me. Because, for example, let's say, knowing where things are or not knowing where they are really does make a huge, huge difference. Let's take a look here though. So I think that I don't see too much here. We're probably just going to head back here again if we can find the way. I think this is, see, this is funny because it looks like it's sort of like a secret little passageway down here, but this is actually, I believe, heading back to where we were before. It just is so dark it's hard to say. But we can see where the torches were, so we'll go over here and do that. Someone said what's going on with the blocks? The blocks are having the issues because the server is completely full. There's lots of people. I'm not sure exactly how many, but definitely a lot. And so because of that, it is a little bit laggy. And we'll go over here and see what we can find in terms of other materials. There's actually some copper up here as well, which is good. So we'll go over here, and I guess just down below as well, sort of through this strange tunnel we've made. It was funny, it reminds me of a while ago I was caving in Minecraft, and I found a cave network where it kind of looped in itself like a massive circle, and it was sort of interesting there. So look at that, our iron has finally finished smelting. We of course have more iron to smelt, but now we can make that chest plate and be much more protected. We can also make some more iron tools. I think we will make an iron sword. Because of the lag, having that ability to really quickly do things is going to be really good. I'm not sure why I keep using the tough there, but there we have that. Probably actually just let this smelt a little bit more, because of course we're going to have to let that wait. Now as we have that smelt, if we go a little bit higher up, there could be some coal, and because we need some coal, I think I'm going to look a little bit over here and hopefully we can find that. So we'll try and grab that. In fact, I think I might see some coal up there already. Just around the edge here, there could be some. It's definitely the right level for it, a little bit low maybe, but there could be some coal. I guess up here as well we could look. So we'll kind of branch out here a bit. Of course, I think we've been here already, so it might have already been mined out by us or by someone else. I don't really see anything too much around here. Now there is a huge cave here. There's actually some more iron as well, so we did find quite the cave network. I forgot how big it was. But we'll grab this, and I think, yeah, we'll probably just head back, honestly, and maybe start exploring around a bit more, seeing what other people are up to, and sort of enjoying more of the server experience there. Could be quite fun. We'll go over here. Let's see. Someone said, speaking of lag, why does making copies of maps or different sizes cause more lag? Definitely having a lot of maps does cause lag, and the reason why is the way that the game deals with maps. Basically, it thinks of it as like an entity, like a mob. And so if you have a huge amount of mobs, then basically, you know, it'll kind of lag because it's trying to load them all in a more difficult way. So like if maps were treated like a block, it wouldn't really lag. That's kind of how that works. Now, of course, like a map in a chest isn't going to cause any lag, and I'm not sure if you're talking about actually like making maps or having them being placed down. But of course, placed down maps are also going to be a lot laggier. Now, here's our little base thing here. We're just going to probably just grab the iron out of here, and then I guess we can make a shovel. We do have quite a bit of logs, actually, about half a stack of logs. I do hear a mob, so I have to be careful of that because I'm not sure how close that is. Probably not very close, but it's hard to say, of course. So we will grab that and go through here, and I think we're good. So what I'll do is I'll have to throw away a couple items. We're going to throw away the dandelion and the saplings. We don't need the saplings and the stone pickaxe. Some people like saving their first pickaxe. I guess I could, but we'll definitely throw away, like, let's say the stone pickaxe and the dandelion, that, and just sort of things that are 100% useless no matter what. And of course, these saplings. We could also do the glow ink sack. Doesn't matter too much, but we could. And then we'll just grab our materials here, our pickaxe, or not our pickaxe, but our crafting table, as well as our furnace there. And from that we can go on and sort of see what's going on at the overworld. We can do that. As well, if you're wondering how to join my Discord server, there is a link on the pinned link there on the chat, if you're wondering. So we're going to go over here. Try and not pick up those items. We're going to have to sort of dodge them and go over here and then explore around. But something I'd be interested to know as well is what's everyone's favorite Eyecraftmc video? Who's watching right now? What's sort of a video of mine that you've always liked? And you just sort of think of it as maybe the first video of mine you saw. If you do watch me, of course, I'm sure there are some people here who've never watched me before. Probably not many, but I'm sure there are a couple. Just because statistically it would make sense. I forgot how much iron and coal is down in this cave actually, but there's a lot of mobs as well. This is our bed where our spawn point is set, so I guess we should probably break this. It's probably not always the best idea to break, of course, your spawn point, but we're going to try and kind of escape out of here. Now, we did fall down. That's how we got up here. A bucket, actually, that's a really important thing when there is a skeleton, but thankfully we have armor and a shield. I don't know how much a shield's going to help us. You can see it's super laggy there, so we're just going to go up sort of close to the skeleton and try and get it pretty quick. Again, sort of like this is one of the reasons why the iron armor is so important, is because here, like, we can't really effectively block it or hit it, just because we do have a decent amount of the lag there. And I think I looked at the Enderman, which is... No, I didn't look at it. See, I did look at it, I just don't think it actually realized I looked at it, which is kind of funny. So we're going to craft a bucket here as quickly as possible, and we'll just throw away the arrows there. And then what we'll do is we'll pick up the water and kind of try and use it to climb up the thing here. You can sort of use water to climb if it's not lagging, which it is, which is unfortunate. So hopefully we can grab and sort of a bit of a climbing position from there before it's too late. And then we can maybe actually just put a block on the side here, get onto the block, grab the bucket, and keep going. So if we look upwards, I can kind of see the surface where we drop down from, and we don't really have a need for cobblestone. So if we go this way, we can sort of pile up here and make our way back up. There is still some more resources here, but I think we're doing pretty good overall in terms of resources. We can always go caving again. There is some more iron down there, but there's also a lot of mobs that are going to be really hard to fight with this kind of lag. So we'll travel back this way and go around here and make our way over to the surface, and then maybe to 0, 0, see what the spawn point's looking like now. Again, if you're just joining onto the world, this is Minecraft Multiplayer Survival. Probably not a series, I'm just on my server basically, playing around with everyone as the Season 1 of the server starts. Now if I look at my coordinates here, actually this doesn't help me very much because the spawn point's sort of different on here, but I think the spawn point would be about over here. We actually have 2 bones, and here is a dog, so let's see if we can get it, if we'll get lucky. We did not get lucky. That dog just wanted too many bones, and unfortunately we were not able to tame it. This is always fun though, when sometimes you find a mob, you find a dog or a cat, and it'll basically get tamed almost instantly. Let's say, for example, with the first bone or the second bone. That's always quite a cool thing. We can start to sort of see civilization over here. People are doing things already on the server, and there's some little micro farms and interesting sort of projects that people are starting. I think this is about the direction to go to spawn. Now the spawn itself eventually should look very different. It probably won't have all the stuff here, it may, but the idea would be, of course, that people are going to work together to build like a giant city civilization idea. Now I think this mountain is actually quite near to the spawn point. I didn't realize I'd gone out so far. No wonder I hadn't seen very many people. Kind of surprising, I really didn't even saw that one person who was caving, kind of just a chance they were nearby, I'm assuming. But I think it's still this way. Yeah, I think we're getting pretty close to the spawn here, so we're going to go this way. And someone says they really like redstone, so I immediately think of your item sorter videos. I learned a lot from that and troubleshooting the differences I was finding on Bedrock. Yeah, unfortunately Bedrock and Java's redstone is so different. It's quite annoying because, of course, there's the point where I want to make videos that are applicable for both Bedrock and Java, but sometimes things will be 100% different across versions, and so it doesn't really make sense to do things that are the same for both versions, just because it can be kind of impossible in a sense, where basically it could be a whole separate tutorial. But I do want to make videos that are maybe specifically for Bedrock as well as Java. It's just, of course, about making sure that they're topics that everyone in Bedrock would be interested in, because I wouldn't want to make things that no one's going to want to watch, or just maybe 10% of my audience would. Again, I think the spawn point is just over here, or maybe, yeah, it's this direction, I believe. So if we just go over here, we should see, hopefully, some things going on. It looks like there is something here. There's definitely some more people as we get nearby, maybe new people joining, or people that have been on for a while. And there is the rule set, and yeah, there is some people here at the spawn point. So I let everyone around here. It's always interesting to me, like usernames like this that are sort of random letters and numbers. I always wonder sort of what that means, or like how they pick that. I know for me, of course, my username is Eyecraftmc. And like, for instance, this username here, Fijo, it's only 4 characters, quite a short username, and one that would be really difficult to sort of get your hands on. So it's always interesting there, the different usernames and what they mean. Looks like people are already working hard to sort of make this into a bit more of a civilization, flattening things out, getting mob farms. Looks like someone actually has my skin here, which is pretty funny. They have the Eyecraftmc skin in their armor, so we actually look pretty similar as well, because we both have that, but they have a diamond axe. I guess I could make a diamond axe with my diamonds, but I think I'll make it into a pickaxe. And we'll take a look around here as well, sort of what's going on. Some random cobblestone here. Always kind of something you see on servers quite a bit. We may actually take a look at the village again. In fact, I think the other direction, I'm sure it's been found already, but I believe there's 4 or 5 villages inside of this plains biome. And so we should be able to fairly easily find ourselves a village that would be over around here. So we'll take a look at that. And we'll go this way. And And someone asks how long does it take to get accepted to join the SMP. Unfortunately, we can't really whitelist anyone during the actual event. However, after the event's done, it should be really quick, and you'll be able to enjoy this SMP that'll be lasting for a long time. I'm hoping about a year. Our other SMP was a really long-lasting, and we actually have a download for that on the Discord under the announcements page. Even if you never played on it, if you're just interested in kind of seeing what a whole bunch of Minecraft players playing survival together looks like, you can download that map, and of course then you can do whatever you want on that map. Of course there's no rules, it's just a map, but it's a good way of enjoying kind of that whole SMP experience. And so let's go over here, and we're going to take a look for that other village. Now it may not be here. I think this is fairly close to the direction I went the other time, but I'm not 100% sure. Probably go on top of this little meadow kind of plains biome here thing. It's one of those funny things you get in 1.18 and onwards, where it is a mountain, but it's also just a plains biome. It's not even a meadow biome, really. It doesn't look like it. So it's sort of like where the height of the land and the biome that's on there aren't necessarily linked. So we're going to go over here and see what we can find from the top of here. Of course, the render distance is pretty small, but I actually see a village house there, which is good. And look at that, a free base all the way made. Of course, it's someone else's base, but this is a good place to build it. I see some coal there we might actually grab because we're almost out of coal. Let me just organize my inventory here a little bit. But I think we will grab that coal there if we can. I know the server is lagging a bit. There's actually a mine shaft down there as well, some cobwebs, so we're feeling really risky, which I don't feel risky right now just because the server is pretty laggy, but if I was feeling risky, then definitely we could go down there and grab materials there. But I think we'll just grab this coal. Seems to be lagging actually a little bit less. The blocks do seem to be breaking a bit quicker, which is 100% good news. We'll go over here and see what we can do in terms of getting that. And the person who had that diamond axe says it's for defense. Does sound like a good idea. Of course, PvP is off, or it is on the server, but it's not like you're not allowed to PvP, but PvP is enabled. The reason why we have it like that is because I think that, of course, certain people, if they want to PvP and they both agree to it, it's fine. It just PvP without consent is not allowed because certain players don't want to lose their items or their levels. It's just not the way they enjoy to play the game. So I think it's always good to let everyone kind of enjoy Minecraft in the way that they like to. But we do have a rule against PvP, and I just fell down there. So unfortunately, we've lost some health. But I do see there's this huge cave. There's also a skeleton, so we should be aware of that. But there's probably some really good resources down there. I don't think we'll mine immediately again, though, since that's what we were doing last time. Maybe we could start a little base to start off with, make like a little starter base. Probably nothing like the starter base I had before. Looks like this player is giving me some items. I have to throw away this dirt here so I can pick it up. That was 2 cooked mutton. Well, thank you very much for that to Philip Carr. And we'll go over here. But I did see a villager house, so we're going to travel to that village, see if there's any other materials we can grab. Probably fully looted at this point since there's literally over 100 players, but we'll see. It's actually a very big village, and we do see some resources already. And there is actually a snow biome there, so something that people may have noticed or may not have noticed yet is that, of course, this seed does have a snow biome next to the spawn point, and that is for a reason. And it's not super close, but, you know, it's maybe 200 or 300 blocks away. And someone trapped a villager there. But basically the idea of that snow biome being there is, of course, that it is December. And so winter is December, January, February, about, I guess at least where I am it is. And so I thought it might be fun if we have sort of a wintry themed area. And people can kind of enjoy making winter-themed builds, Christmas-themed builds for a while. We can just grab all the free crafting tables people left on the ground around here. Probably throw away our copper for that. And see if there's anything else here that's not looted. Again, probably not. As villages do tend to be sort of looted really, really quickly, as there's a lot of good stuff there generally. So we'll try and see what we can find. And it's kind of funny here, like this tree. I guess I was about to say it wasn't breaking because of the logs down here. I still don't think it would break because the logs are so close down there. But no, there's just a log in the center of it. So I'll go over here, and someone's even grabbed the village house as their own. In fact, they're right here. It looks like Turtle Galaxy, is that their name? Or Twilight Galaxy. There we go. And very temporary base here of the house. But welcome to the server there, Turtle Galaxy. I know, of course, everyone's new on the server because the server just started about an hour ago. So we have that. We actually have 2 emeralds here if there's a villager that wanted to trade with us, but I don't think there is. Of course, we're to that stage in the game where we're running low on inventory room, and that's when you want to make a base, or at least a temporary one. So we could make a temporary base somewhere. Usually at this point I would make a temporary mining base, we could keep mining, but of course I'm not sure if I want to do that, as in we'd just be in the caves all the time and couldn't really enjoy the multiplayer experience. Here's the snow biome though. It is quite a nice one. We have a mix of the very old sort of classic looking biome. This is such an interesting biome actually, the one right here, super classic, the snowy taiga. And the snowy taiga, I believe, was the first snowy biome added. I'm not sure if that's true, but it definitely seems to be one of the oldest, which is quite a cool thing, of course. And then we have the snowy plains here as well, which is also getting explored. We actually have some rabbits around here, which is kind of cool. We could try getting a rabbit's foot from this one. This is a lot easier to get the rabbits when it's lagging like this, but we did get one raw rabbit, but nothing too much out of there. So we could make our base here. We could make it somewhere else, maybe at the spawn point, or maybe inside of a cave. There's all kinds of different interesting opportunities. And someone asks if I have a wool farm vid. I do have a wool farm video, and if you're wondering where that is in my micro farms video group. And so you can really easily just go to my micro farms playlist, and in there find that. I think it's in the first one, maybe in the second one, but it's definitely one of my favorite farms I've ever built. So there's that. And yeah, our inventory is getting very full here. So in terms of where we should build a base, I guess there's just so many different places we could. I kind of do want to do it inside of a cave and keep exploring the cave, like the cave we were currently in. But then again as well, I don't know how many more materials we really need. Like let's say this cave right here, there could be some good stuff even here higher up, like some more coal. We only have 18 coal. In fact, there's some coal right there, so I think we'll mine that for a little bit. And this does seem to get very low very quickly, so this could actually be the perfect opportunity to do some more caving. It's crazy, like this kind of viewpoint where like you can't actually tell how deep it is. Like that could go to deep slate, or it could stop right outside of my line of sight. It's so interesting. We'll go this way. We're going to go over here and take a look. Someone says, what are my coordinates? Well, if I told people my coordinates, everyone would come to where I am. But I might flash my coordinate screen for a second there, see if anyone can figure it out from that. But either way, we'll keep mining the coal there and try and get ourselves a decent amount of resources. And we'll see how many people actually follow the coordinates back to where I am. Probably not very many. Let's see. So we have our rotten flesh and our lapis here. Sort of everything we need in life, right? Rotten flesh and lapis. But of course, in reality, we do have actually, most of our stuff is not set up. We don't have a mob farm, we don't have a crop farm, we don't have a base. So we have to get a lot of things done around here. I would want to know how deep this does go down. It looks like it does actually go to deep slate, pretty deep below that as well. So I think that what I'll probably end up doing is kind of maybe making a temporary base here. It seems like a decent area to have a temporary base, honestly. And then from here we can sort of continue on with some different things as well. Like even just like under here could be decent. Like if I just grab out some materials, I kind of like this weird little crevice under here. Definitely not permanent, but temporary bases are always quite fun. So we will make some chests, and we do not make those in the furnace. We make those, of course, in the crafting table. So I will make some of those, and then we can get ourselves some more long-term storage. It's actually interesting, something I was thinking about is that, you know, the main reason for a base inside of Minecraft is storage. And if you think about it, of course there's lots of other reasons to build a base, but the storage is such an important part of it because you have all these items, you have to put it somewhere. And if you don't have a base to safely store it, then you can lose them or just have to throw away other items. Like for instance right here, most of the items on us we don't really have a big need for, so we can sort of put those away for now. Maybe we'll make a little crop farm though, it could be a good idea. Probably just out of stone. Of course black stone, deep slate. Blackstone of course is the nether stone. Deep slate as well as cobblestone. You can make stone tools and furnaces and things like that out of everything. And there are people that have showed up here, so everyone can see my things are too easy to find, they said. I mean, I was pretty close to spawn, to be fair. And I'll go over here. We do have a water bucket. And yeah, hello to everyone here who's is now on the stream. And we're going to go over here, make a little farm, I think. Nothing crazy, but just a nice little sort of central area. We'll try and find a place where there's lots of space. And we'll try to kind of place the blocks down for that if we can, before it gets too laggy. And if we actually have some seeds here as well, we can plant those down. I'm going to grab the rest of that. Looks like people are helping out there, which is good, so thank you for that. we'll go back here and try and get some more things from our base to continue on the build. So we have some potatoes here, and I guess some seeds maybe? No, we don't have any seeds. There's some wheat that people can break for seeds. So we'll try and go this way. Looks like there's some sugarcane, which is good. If I can pick it up, the lag might not let me. Maybe not. But anyway, we'll go over here and we'll continue to plant this down. I do have some of this, and we're going to plant down some potatoes inside of this farmland here. I will probably plant this in rows, just so that we can have the faster growth rate there for the crops. But yeah, we have that. This one says Eyecraft's Farm right there in the middle. You have to make sure everyone knows. And we have that as well. So we're going to grab these blocks and continue on. I think I'll make my diamonds pickaxe now. Generally, the first thing you want to make is a pickaxe, not actually just, let's say, a, you know, maybe a sword or a shovel. A pickaxe is always the best, and someone actually gave me a diamond sword. Again, if I can pick it up, there you go. Thank you very much for that, to whoever that was. And we'll make a diamond pickaxe as well to match that. And then we can sort of place that down here, make the sticks, and get our first pickaxe, and thank you for the sword. So what I'm going to do now, and we have that, is I'm going to start making some walls on the base. Nothing crazy. This is not meant to be like anywhere near like a nice looking starter base, sort of like, let's say my tutorial was meant to be nice looking. This is just something simple where we can kind of make this into an actual house of a sort, and sort of maybe make it more than just a little cave. So we'll kind of place a wall here, sort of like a cave house, and we can make it look a bit nicer if we can get some more trees to chop down, maybe some of the spruce trees we'd go with. So we'll sort of section that off there, and I'll also put my bed, if I can find my bed. It's probably in here, there it is. And we can probably put the bed like over here where this coal is. We can mine this with our diamond tools now, and actually probably get some torches as well if I can find them. We'll just craft those up there. And then we can use those to also light up our nice little starter base here, which is going to be pretty cool. So we'll go over here and we'll put that there. Again, nothing crazy, not the best bedroom of any sort, but we have that as well. And we can mine a bit of the coal there to get ourselves more smelting resources, maybe even building. We might be able to build with some coal blocks. I'm not sure if I'll do that or not, but I definitely could. And I think it's probably time, as far as I can tell, probably to get some more wood types to grow with. Looks like some people are improving the farm here with some hay bales they found earlier. I'm actually almost going to starve to death, so I think my food, I put it all in the chest, so we'll have to grab it out of the chest there, and then from there sort of continue on. So we have the rotten flesh, because our crops aren't quite done yet. I might actually steal a couple of the hay bales people put down for decoration there, maybe just like one of them, and then with those I can craft some bread, and sort of get some resources from there. And of course we have all these players here in their iron armor, and neon, let's see here, sort of the neon colored things there. We have, what else do we have around here? The hay bale, and the wheat, of course. So we have, I guess, just 3 bread. Sort of hay bales are pretty useful, but of course it does technically only give us 3 pieces of bread there, so we'll go with that. Now I see there's the spruce, and there's also some other trees. It looks like someone's building a base over here, so I think if I travel this way, I can chop down some trees and get some more materials, and then with those, we can continue on to build more of my base. So I think I'll probably kind of go past here. Now I think there's more of a forest this way. There is, so we'll go there. And then from that location we can do that. Looks like someone's making a speedrun portal here with the lava, which means of course they don't have a diamond pickaxe, or they're just deciding to do the bucket method. But we will mine some trees in this really big forest here. It's actually not that big of a snow biome, but it is fairly big, so we will grab that. It seems like the hunger effect is just stuck on 0. So we'll just kind of have like a fake hunger effect here apparently for a little while. And we can continue to mine the trees. Someone says starting fresh on the server. Well, of course, everyone's starting fresh. The server is reset. This is season 2 of my SMP. And hopefully everything goes well on here. If you're just joining the stream right now, I'm basically just playing through Minecraft Survival here on my SMP with everyone. And we're just kind of trying to go through the game a little bit here, some of the early stages, with playing with all of everyone here. And so hopefully it'll be quite fun. We've gotten some good stuff done already, so we're going to mine through this tree here. And I think as well as that, actually, we'll do this. Now, it's interesting because I notice most people prefer Survival Live to streams like this, and I definitely understand that. And we're going to totally go back to Survival Live eventually. But I think that for now it's kind of a fun thing, just to do some more variation. Like right now, of course, is this multiplayer stream thing. So we'll go over this way. We now have some more logs. It's kind of hard to go through here. I think the lag is getting like slightly better, but I'm not sure if that's actually true or not. So we'll go over here. I think it is though. It seems to be a bit quicker, which is good. A little bit less of a crazy experience, and we'll just kind of break that. And if you're wondering what the lag is about, just because there's an insane amount of people on, it does tend to be more laggy because of that. And so we'll grab all the materials here. And I think we have about 22 spruce, which is pretty good. I know that spruce wood is definitely one of my favorites, but it's also one of the easiest. So the reason why spruce wood is easy is because of the what I call mega taiga. I guess it's now called old growth taiga, but the giant old growth taiga trees. So you can make giant spruce trees by simply placing 2x2 of the saplings. And I know, of course, like basically everyone knows that, but it's still an interesting sort of thing. It definitely affects things quite a bit, and of course seems like people have made their way over here. Again, I think that's enough of the spruce. Probably grab some more birch. Birch is always a nice block. We can sort of do some things with that. Maybe be a bit more decorative. Nothing too crazy, but if you're actually wondering, let's say, how do you make a really good starter base in Minecraft, I recently made a video on that. In fact, I think I put it out yesterday. So if you want to just check my channel for that, Eyecraftmc Starter Base, you can also do that by going to my watch page or to my channel page there, to the videos list. And there's a really good tutorial on there on how to make a really nice looking starter base that's quite compact. And has a lot of good resources there. I've had people ask before if I even know how to build, and I definitely do, and I would say that it's a decently good starter base, nothing like insanely crazy, but I'm pretty happy with the one that I have on the video there. So if you're interested in that, then for sure, feel free to check that out. I'll go this way. And someone said they gave the sword. Well, thank you for that. We actually have another lava lake over here. Kind of rare to have two lava lakes next to each other. Might just sneak a little bit of lava there. Might be useful later on. We'll see. We're going to go this way. There's actually a polar bear as well. Kind of funny, the polar bear and the rabbits there aren't fighting at all. But we'll go this way. I think this is the way back to my base, kind of underneath the mountain there. And yeah, it's been pretty good overall. Yeah, there's the farm. People kind of built that, put some wheat down. And it's always kind of funny with a multiplayer server, you have like these random blocks, like the one piece of obsidian there. Pretty funny how that ends up working. But let's kill some of the fishes here, actually, I think would be a good idea, because we do need some more food. And killing salmon is a really good idea inside of Minecraft because you get lots of food from it, but as well as that, they're really easy, and they tend to spawn in much quicker. So like standard mobs do take quite a while to spawn in, but with like the salmon here, it's super quick. So we can, like, for instance, grab here like 5 food almost instantly, and they do tend to spawn more in really quickly as well. So for instance, here we could grab like these more salmon and get, I guess, 7 would be the number, and we can try and get 8 if we don't lag completely. But there we go, kind of stuck in a block it seemed like. And the 7th one should pop into our inventory in just a second there. There we go. And maybe there's one more salmon down here we can grab if we don't starve, or not starve, but run out of oxygen, of course. And we will grab that as well. And there we go, we can kind of cook that with 1 piece of coal. I tend to always try and get food in groups of 8, because then it's much easier to cook. You can just use the 1 piece of coal to make those 8 pieces of food, of course. And there's no waste there, because in the early game, of course, food is still a bit more difficult to get. And people are farming the crops here. We even have the stuff here, and there's a chest of gifts. So thank you very much for that. The amethyst and the coal and the sugarcane, which is really cool. I will grab those. Thank you so much for that to Mindful. And we'll grab these blocks. Not sure what I'll use them for right now, but if I have a bit of coal, I actually think my copper, and I think I threw the copper away, but if I had a little bit, I could technically use that to make a spyglass, but I think I did throw it away earlier, so unfortunately we can't use that right now. But let's grab this spruce and also these planks here. We'll start with just a standard plank wall, and then sort of like I was even saying in the tutorial, you want to start with something really basic, and even like in that I actually did a oak wall as well. And we can kind of go from that into something more complicated and to sort of make it look better. But for now, it's just about protection, getting like a nice bit of a wall up. We could put some more windows here later though, more decoration, make it be much more than just sort of a cave with a wall on one end. Because again, this is a temporary base, but it's going to be something we're going to try and make a little bit nicer than that. So not sure if I have any more planks, not many. We'll try and kind of finish this up here with like we have like 3 planks we need more, so not sure if anyone else has any planks, but what I'm going to do is also kind of flatten this out a little bit, get some more room around here, just to place down some items. Seems like the block breaking is actually like not laggy now, which is like super nice. So we'll go around here and we're gonna, maybe just a stone? I'm not sure. It seems like the blocks are being better now though, which is definitely good. Maybe we can clear out this space and give myself a bit more room. The nice thing too is, you know, something like, let's say this seems a bit wasteful, right? Breaking all these blocks and just wasting time. But in reality, when you're really early game, it's actually a very good idea. And the reason why is really simple. It's that basically you have so few blocks anyway, that you want to have that easy access to lots of dirt later on. So let's say if we're going to build a farm or flatten out an area, having those blocks in storage, that's kind of how you get those. And so, of course, if we didn't have this stage of the game, we would have the issue where, of course, we couldn't actually, you know, build those things without having to, let's say, spend a bunch of time mining for dirt or something. Or, I mean, you know, mining for dirt in Minecraft seems like such a ridiculous thing. So it makes a much more sense to do that for sure. We're going to go through here and kind of clear out our base a bit more and do that way. But again, how's everyone doing so far? If you're doing great, be sure to tell me in the comments there. Be sure to also like the stream if you are enjoying it. And if you want to know what the server is, it's play.eyecraftmc.com. We actually have a bunch of coal here as well. It's kind of nice. We can like mine the coal, make our base bigger, but also get more materials that we want. And having 14 coal is pretty good. Here's some more planks too from people, which is quite nice of them. Seems like different things are kind of varying levels of lag, how long they take, but we're doing pretty good here. So we're going to place these down. I think, of course, a door around here would be good, maybe like this. Nothing too crazy. It's definitely a pretty basic base, but I think that sort of more complicated builds tends to be better with time. And here's like my clone here with the Eyecraftmc skin, which is kind of funny. And we're going to go this way and get ourselves the oak stairs. And we can kind of place maybe a little bit of an entrance way here. Nothing crazy, but enough to get a nice look for that. And it's actually funny because this thing right here, so this crafting recipe is a 6 planks and it gives you 3 doors. And what's funny is if we do this recipe right here, you only get 2 trapdoors. So it's kind of funny that you don't get 3 trapdoors. Like there's not really a good reason why you wouldn't. So it's kind of interesting little thing there. The sort of trapdoor trick of the trapdoors being more rare, but then the standard doors being less. And yeah, we'll just kind of continue to build this. Seems like some people are trying to help, which is nice. And I think we'll do a spruce floor. Maybe people seem to be having a spruce floor and doing the thing I was talking about earlier in a video, which is that you always want to use the slabs. And the reason why is, of course, they're half the price. So there's no good reason why not to use slabs. And so like something like this, we can really easily sort of just fill this up with the slab item there, and then not have to waste as much of our stone, or even just waste as much of our time getting stone, so it works that. Someone says, is there dark oak trees? There should be definitely every type of tree and near spawn. I don't think there's one here though, so unfortunately we cannot use any dark oak in this build as far as I know. But definitely there are some dark oak trees here, as dark oak tends to be actually quite common. I would say the rarest material might actually be, I guess the rarest would for sure would be mangrove, just because the mangrove swamp is a super rare biome. But probably outside of mangrove wood, I guess the rarest wood would be maybe dark oak, maybe jungle, because I know that like certain things like acacia are kind of maybe a little bit more rare, but overall it's pretty good. So we have that, and then we'll go through here and kind of finish this up. It's looking pretty good already. A really cool thing actually people can do if they want their base to look really fancy is to use these spruce logs. You can sort of have those be like a pattern with that. And we might actually just make a little path block, a little sort of easy build thing that goes over to the farm here. Sort of randomizing the path a bit, adding some random blocks here and there can definitely make it look a bit better and give us a nice pathway over there to our base. And so we can kind of start that off there a bit. And we have a nice little way to get to our garden, which is cool, as the plants very slowly grow here, which is pretty cool. So we have that as well. The actual biome here is looking pretty good in terms of building. I'm not sure if I'll have my permanent base in this area, but it's nice to have a temporary base here anyway, and technically the reason for that was to mine. I'm not sure if I actually need to mine now, but I can take a look at what we have in terms of this. We have our salmon, of course, cooking, and I'll take a quick look down here because that was the main reason, was sort of having this big cave that was easy to access. So there may be some things that are sort of worth noting around here we could take a look at. Not sure how deep the cave even goes, so we could take a quick little look to find that out. Because I'm thinking it does go to deep slate, so it might go all the way down to like almost bedrock, which would be really cool. The water might also flow down there, might not. It does. It does go down very, very low, and there's tons of iron and stuff there, so I probably won't mine there right now, but definitely pretty soon here we should do that. And yeah, I think the blocks are breaking quicker, which is nice. So we'll go over here, and we could make a ladder or something here eventually, sort of a way to get upwards, but overall, I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll go this way. And, you know, early game Minecraft is such an interesting experience, such a different thing compared to, you know, later in the game. I kind of forget it really. It's, you know, I'll play these more late game worlds for a long time, but eventually I'll start thinking just about how different it is than that. And someone blocked up this entrance here, which isn't what I want. We'll go over here, and I think there is a river here, and that's actually really good because I want to get some sand. And so you can see there's a river, so of course we have these sand deposits around it. Definitely the best way of getting sand if you are not next to an ocean or next to a beach, although of course oceans don't even have that much sand unless they're the warm variety. You look at that, these blocks are breaking super quick, which is awesome, so lag's a lot better here now. But yeah, we can get with that some windows, because windows are such an important thing in a house. They're not vital, but I think that it really adds that bit of extra quality. You know, something I was also saying in that build tutorial video is that good building in Minecraft basically means making things that you don't have to, but that look good. So for instance, a chimney on a house, or maybe let's say windows on a house. There's no specific reason why you would need to build that, but I think it definitely does make it a lot nicer. And so to me, that's something that I would suggest. Looks like the sand there was actually floating when it shouldn't have. Like if we break this, that will potentially kind of update that and it'll all fall down, which is funny. So we'll get that, and that's 64 sand already. That's actually really quick, 64 and 3. So you should be able to smelt that entire stack, and then go from there. So we have an upstairs neighbor too up there. We might have to see what's up over there. They have a house on top of the mountain there. So definitely, again, with about 100 people on, something like that. The limit, I think, is 250, but I doubt the server could actually handle that. There's certainly a lot of things going on right now. So look at that, people kind of moved on from my base. So I'll probably just continue working on this myself. And get it sort of designed how I want. Here's a couple people. Alright, so we're gonna get our sand smelting, so we'll put that in there. Get some more coal loaded up in the furnace. You never want to put too much coal, and there's a good reason why. It's because what'll tend to happen is if you do put all your coal in there, then later on when you want to make torches, you can't, because all of your torches are going to be in that area, and which isn't obviously too bad normally, because you can just grab it. But the problem is that sometimes if you're, you know, on a big mining journey or something, it's kind of annoying, because then you actually like lose your coal and you can't get back to it. So probably go like this. I kind of like this little bit of cobblestone here. Not amazing, but it's kind of a nice little build design thing. We might put under here some more cobblestone as a decoration, or even better, this would look kind of cool if we put some of the stairs under here to kind of make it look like it's on top of something. I kind of like that. So of course the smelting area here, we have some glass smelting in there as well. So I guess probably if that is a smelting area, we should move this smelter, if it'll break in a second here, and then we can, they might have picked up some of that there, it looks like, but we can put it over here and get the sand smelting in these, and we can actually split this up maybe, get it like split up between 4 different ones. Always a good trick, pretty simple, but good to remember. If you're kind of, you know, not wanting to wait too long for your things to smelt, all you have to do is just split them up between multiple furnaces. And so we have that, and then we'll just kind of finish up the floor here, get it looking decent. Something if we had a bit more time was with the spruce logs, you can do a pattern where basically you grab these spruce logs and you kind of put them in like an opposing kind of pattern, like a knit, like not knitted, but sort of like a weave, like this, and then like that way. And with that you can strip them, and you can see it kind of makes a cool looking thing. But of course at this point we don't really have enough for that, but you can see of course how much cooler that looks. Let's say these standard slabs. It'd be actually really cool if they had slabs of these sort of logs, because then you could use that nice looking pattern, but it would be a lot cheaper that way as well. So we'll clear out some more of this if we can. Again, it seems to be very varying levels of how laggy it is to break blocks. Like right here is basically just like survival, but at certain points before it seemed to be much worse. So I think once we've gotten this going, this base is looking pretty good, so we'll probably go caving, which should be quite fun, and then we can try and get some more diamonds, maybe some stuff for an enchanting area, enchanting table, could definitely be really good. So I think I'll unload kind of the useless things I have. That shield I just put away is definitely not useless, but you know, things like, let's say we're not going to need too many logs right now. Our base is looking okay, not perfect, but I think that we can probably finish it up a bit more later. I want to get some more materials so we can actually build things around stuff, because for example, let's say, you know, it's definitely going to be good to have an enchanting table so we can build things around the enchanting table. All right, so I think that we need a good food source. We have the cooked salmon. Not sure if there's anything else. I guess we could probably grab the other materials around here. So we have like the wheat here, the hay bales, another decoration, but I might just have to steal those because we need some food. So we'll probably grab that. We can put them back later because we do have a wheat crop here. So we can actually just grab the wheat, craft it into the materials we need from that. And I guess to be fair as well, there's no real point of storing hay bales without eventually using them. So we can grab these things and kind of go from there. And so let's say we have 6 of the hay bales, and from that place we can continue on and get our other materials. So we'll grab this, we'll craft this all into the bread. We also have the lava bucket there, so that's good in terms of food. Also we want coal and we want sticks. We do want some wood, not a crazy amount. We may as well bring all these spruce logs though, and then we can kind of continue on from that point. Let's see here what we have. I guess, yeah, so coal's probably mostly in the furnaces. We could make some more torches as well. Because you always want a good supply of torches when you're caving, is to get yourself that to light things up. You can kind of see things better. And really the biggest issue with caving is either running out of food, or running out of inventory room, or running out of torches. But I think we shouldn't have that issue here. And I think we're doing good in terms of these supplies. So we'll go down here. We'll actually start caving, because I think we're doing pretty good here. And then we can see what we can find, because we can probably defeat the mobs better now too if it's lagging less. I guess things like the baby zombies would technically be more difficult, but most things should be much easier. And this goes so low down, there's definitely going to be some diamonds or something good here. So let's jump right into the water here. And we'll actually start by just getting the iron that's nearby. I'll craft this into planks so we can use it here and there if we need to, like this. And then if we mine this, it's definitely nice to mine that and have it be a little bit less laggy, but it's still pretty laggy, but not as bad as it was. And we can grab these materials, place down our torches, sort of start in the deep slate mining area. So we'll just grab these materials as well and go with that. And let's see here. So we have 4 iron. There seems to be a 5th iron we found down here as well. And I think that if we go this direction, we could probably make our way out. If we might even just place blocks, it's a bit easier this way. So let's see what we can find. There is some redstone and lapis, which is good, some gold. So there could be diamonds as well. I just think we have to sort of carefully look for them and see what we can find in terms of that. But definitely, of course, mining with the diamond pickaxe is a lot quicker this way, and hoping that we can have that. And someone says they're having issues with the music. The music does seem to be a bit louder, actually, so I might actually just check that real quick. See if I'm playing the right track. It should be correct. Yeah, I'm not actually sure what's up with that. I can see if that's the correct thing. I'll just turn it down a little bit. It does seem to be a little loud. So hopefully that's a little quieter now. I'm not sure if that actually changed it at all or not. But yeah, it should be better now. So I'm not sure what's up with that. But we'll go like this. And let's see if we can find this. Let me actually just switch here. Something is, if you want to follow me on my social medias here, we definitely have all kinds of things there. So we have the Twitter, that is the @Eyecraft_MC, and as well as that, of course, we have everything else there. So we have my the Discord. That's how you're going to be able to join this. Link in the description there, of course. We also have my Twitch. Now, to be fair, I don't really stream on Twitch that much, but we do have this thing of being able to cross stream on there eventually. So what I want to do is I want to eventually of course, do that as well. And we have the Reddit, r/Eyecraft, so we have that. But anyway, back to the stream. People are sleeping through the night, and we're in the cave here, and we're going to try and find ourselves some diamonds. So let's mine this redstone, and we will see what we can find in terms of things to mine. So this does kind of stop down here, but I think that we're so low already. It looks like a -42 actually. That's only about 16 blocks away from strip mining level, that we 100% have the opportunity to do that. So I think that basically we can go over here. This actually goes lower. Oh, that's cool. So it kind of goes under here, I think. It looks like it. And we can sort of try and find the cave this connects to. Look at that. Actually, there's a huge cave network, and it goes to lava. That's really useful. This seems like just the perfect place for diamonds. I don't know about you, but it definitely seems like it to me. So we're going to go this way and then go that way. And someone says that they've been binge watching through loads of my videos, and they want to know, should they get protection 4 on all netherite armor, or get others like blast protection and fire protection? I think what I would say is it depends on what you're doing in Minecraft. If you're doing, tons of different things all the time, then you definitely want to get just protection on everything. But if, let's say, there's something you're often doing, like maybe fighting withers or, fighting skeletons, maybe you're in the nether a lot, you really enjoy the nether, something like that, where there's definitely a lot of sort of more specialized positions, then as an example, maybe you'd want fire protection. So I would say that it really does depend on what you're doing. But if you think that you have no real idea what you're going to be doing instead of a lot of different things, usually better just to do all protection. Then maybe later on, from that protection set, you could make a second piece of armor, like maybe a second helmet or something, that would then have that blast protection or that fire protection or something else. But I would definitely say that to start. If you're not 100% sure, you may as well just go with the standard protection. And we'll go this way and try and make our way through. And someone said that they just found the end city and they saw my video for killing the Ender Dragon, and they said to wish you luck. Well, I definitely wish you luck there, so good luck there raiding the end city. If you want to know more about it, I do have a video on raiding the end city, and that video is totally up to date still. Lots of good info there on how to get the shulkers, tricks with chorus fruit to not die. And so if you want to know more about that, then feel free to look up Eyecraftmc End City or something like that, and it should show up. And we're not getting very lucky here, and it's probably because of the air exposure rule. We are getting some things to mine, but nothing too crazy. I guess we could use the redstone in our base for decoration, or maybe just for kind of more standard things. But we can go this way and sort of get our resources that we need. Now, this lava lake is also pretty useful. I probably shouldn't have actually blocked up part of it, but it should be fine, because we can get obsidian later on. Now, what I actually kind of feel like doing is getting rid of my lava bucket and getting a water bucket, but the problem is this is flowing water, not a water source, and so because of that, it'll be more difficult to, later on, get ourselves that. But yeah, no, it's doing pretty good, though, and I'm quite happy with the progress so far. This seems to still have areas that could be secret around it, like kind of down there. Is that like a secret area? It looks like it. So let's really carefully go here. We'll try and mine around the lava, and then from that location we can sort of find this and take a look at anything that might be there in terms of that. Some said is duping allowed. Duping is definitely not allowed. TNT duping is allowed because certain farms need it, but outside of TNT duping, nothing is allowed. So we'll go over here, and I see a creeper, of course. So we'll probably be careful. We'll probably just use the shield method, just hold up our shield the entire time, so we don't die here, just because getting the creeper normally should be pretty difficult. So as long as we hold up our shield, we should be fine. It seems to lag a bit. We might have died. No, we didn't. We're good. There we go. So we got that. And then from here, we can continue looking around, and oh my goodness, look at this lava lake. This is like a beautiful lava lake. Incredibly, incredibly rare, too, to have something this big. Well, it's not incredibly rare, but it's somewhat. There's some diamonds there, which is good. We have our skeleton, which is getting after us, so we can also grab that and try and, from that place, sort of, then with this now being safe, we can try and get the other materials that are around here. And of course, there's also zombies and things, but tons of opportunities for diamonds here. It's such a huge cave. I'm sure if we had night vision, we could see tons of them. And I can definitely see that one diamond already. In fact, there's a second one up there. There is still some mobs after us, but we have a decent amount of food, as well as having that armor. So this really couldn't be going much better for us, because we're finding all kinds of diamonds, big caves to mine them in. It's like both caves we went into had tons of diamonds in them, probably because of just in 1.19 and 1.18 these huge caves are so common. It's much more easy to find diamonds in them, kind of, because of course there's the air exposure, but there's also the fact of the way that it works with just so much more surface area. You're going to find many more diamonds. So let's go over here and take a look. So I did see the diamonds that were there. I will try and mine these ones as well. So there's someone else in here, so if we can grab them first. There we go. We'll mine these diamonds here, and we should be able to get those if it doesn't lag too much. And there's also probably some more diamonds around here too. I did see those other ones, so I think I'll go after those. And then of course from that point, we can maybe make an enchanting table. I definitely think an enchanting table is probably one of our biggest goals going forward. We could go to the nether. We could get some obsidian here even. We might do that, although it's pretty laggy, so I'm not sure. We'll go over here and we will take a look at getting those materials. So we'll go this way. and just be very careful around the lava. In fact, what I'll do, because of the lag, is I'll kind of make a platform here, so the diamonds will hopefully not fall down into the lava there, because that wouldn't be a good thing at all. And I think actually, in fact, there's some water over here, which isn't good, so hopefully the water doesn't make the diamonds fall. It might have actually. It looks like it does look like it did. So we have that. I almost fell in the lava there. That was so close. The water saved me literally just in time, but I think one of our diamonds might have disappeared. Or no, it looks like they have a water bucket. Thank you for that. We'll definitely use that in a second here. I'm not going to turn all this to water just yet, but I'm going to take a look to see if that diamond did burn, or if it just kind of flew, or not really flew, but sort of floated somewhere else. And I think we'll light this up too, because it's such a wide area, such a large area. What I would tend to say is that if you do have a cave that's this big, it's often the best idea to actually light up and maybe not make a base out of it necessarily, but definitely, you know, use it for kind of a resource later on. So we do have the creeper here. We're just going to use the shield method again if we can, just because it's a little bit safer, and we'll just kind of let that creeper explode here with our shield up. So hopefully this will work correctly. As you can see, it's incredibly laggy, unfortunately, but as long as we keep the shield up, we should be good, and we were good right there. So let's go over. It looks like they mined the diamonds there. Well, thank you for those. It looks like I now have, I think they picked them up again. Oh, there they go. 4. So that's enough for the enchanting table. We'll keep looking around here for any more diamonds that could spawn. Totally opportunities for tons. There's lots of water around here, lots of other hostiles. I really do like this big lava lake. I kind of don't want to turn it to obsidian because it looks so nice. And of course, big lava lakes like that are fairly rare, especially since something that actually tends to bother me a lot is that they'll often get sort of filled up with the obsidian like naturally. And so you'll have this huge lava lake, but because water will always spawn above them, not always, but usually, then you'll kind of have the entire lava lake be turned into obsidian before. Or what I kind of like is having it be my choice whether or not it turns into obsidian. You know, like, so for instance, those water flows there sort of ruin it by making it into obsidian already. So that'd be quite a cool thing if the way that it worked, we sort of had a bit more of a choice in terms of that. But I guess that would just mean the natural generation couldn't have water generate right next to lava. But I'm not sure if that would actually be a good thing. Definitely have to do some more experimentation into that. And also we have a new person that joined the iSquad. And so thank you so much to Arcana Valo for joining the iSquad. I really appreciate that. I'm not sure if that's the Arcana that we had on the game. Because I just see that there's Arcana MC on here. I think we can see them on the player list there. Maybe if I can pick them out. But whoever it is, thank you so much for joining the iSquad there, and hopefully you enjoy all the benefits, like using our awesome emojis. And so we'll go this way. And there's actually a slime actually that spawned in. That's pretty cool. Of course, it's a baby slime, so there's that. But slimes are a bit different than magma cubes. So with magma cubes, it's much rarer for one of them to drop a magma cream. But with the slimes, it's actually fairly common for the magma creams there. So we have that, and it's definitely much more. So they found some more diamonds, so thank you for those. We now have 7 diamonds? It says 8 diamonds, which is cool. So there's definitely more diamonds around that people have found. And we have a super chat, and it says, you've been very helpful for my boyfriend as a player coming back since alpha, and very helpful to me as someone who enjoys great public speaking skills. Keep being yourself, and thank you, iCraft. Well, thank you so much for that. I absolutely appreciate it. I definitely try my best to have my videos be as well spoken as possible. I think that there's nothing wrong with different ways of speaking, but I do tend to want to sort of just try and make things be really straightforward, as I think that oftentimes a lot of people will word their tutorials and just the way they discuss things in ways that are confusing. And so, for example, you know, I remember watching some different tutorials on certain things about Minecraft a long time ago, and you're almost more confused by the end of them than when you first watched it. So definitely it's always my goal to not have that happen. But I'm so glad you like that, so thank you for the super chat. And let's grab a bit more of the iron here. We have this little bit of iron that spawned in the floor. Of course, iron can very rarely spawn at low Y levels, super low ones. It's definitely a chance. It's part of the generation. There's like this line where it can be iron. And so, of course, we have that there, and we'll mine that up and get that. I think we've almost finished this cave in terms of any super useful materials, but we'll keep looking around for a bit. Things like the redstone, again, don't really need them too much right now. We'll probably leave it. There is some more iron in the wall. We'll grab that. Iron is such an important material in Minecraft, and without an easy iron golem farm that I can make instantly, of course, definitely a good thing to get that, because we're nowhere near iron golem farms. Oh, and I actually forgot there's this whole, oh my goodness, look at this. We have it's a double cave, and this side is another lava lake. That's really cool, actually. That's awesome, because if we go this way, we can probably find more diamonds on the ground. We also have like 2 lava lakes, and it even goes wider that way. That's crazy. So what we might even do is literally just explore it, maybe not mine too much for now, and just take a look around at what there is, because it looks like the cave does extend this way. And it's always so fun in Minecraft 1.18 and onwards, these just absolutely huge caves you can find. It's like, really, to me, I think it's a different dimension in a sense. I mean, you know, is this really the overworld? I mean, it is, but it's so much different. Like, look at this, we found a 3rd lava lake. This one is absolutely massive. There are so many diamonds here. This is like the perfect caving experience, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, there's just an insane amount of stuff that we can grab around here. So always, that's sort of the ideal. You know, sort of, I'll talk about this in different videos. People wonder the most quickest way of getting diamonds or the quickest way of doing other things. And this right here, this is like the quickest way of getting diamonds, is if you find a absolutely insane cave. And of course, that doesn't usually happen. In fact, I would say this is one of the best caves I've found for a very long time. But when it does happen, it's always nice. And of course, then at that point, you can mine all the diamonds that generate in there. Now, we do have more coal. If we actually go up here, we can kind of see how big the cave is. Just look at the size of that. That's completely insane how big that cave is. Very, very cool. We could mine here for hours and hours, and I won't, because of course we want to also kind of see what everyone else is up to. I'll probably head back to the surface actually pretty soon here. Let's get the diamonds we find first anyway. I did see some diamonds earlier, so we'll look for those, but absolutely beautiful cave, and there's so much to see around here. This is a really good lava lake because it's not very destroyed by water. There's actually lava flowing into it, so it makes sense. There's a diamond kind of down there by the lava, so we'll kind of mine somewhat down to that. We want to be careful, of course. Mining straight down, especially near lava, is never really a good idea unless you do it safely. But we'll be safe this time, and we should be fine. And someone said, "Hi, love the vids. They are very helpful." Well, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And I definitely try my best to teach people more about the game. And actually, in December here, I have some really awesome uploads planned that are going to be sort of focusing on the quickest ways of doing certain things. You know, I've taught netherite mining, but I haven't taught, let's say, the quickest ways of doing it, just sort of all the different methods that exist. So for example, videos like that where I'm sort of focusing on different elements of, you know, how you can do Minecraft more efficiently, how you can play the game quicker, and get all the materials you want without having to wait an insanely large amount of time, which I think is really important because, of course, for most people, it's always annoying to, let's say, be mining for diamonds for hours and hours and find nothing. So hopefully this series will help things like that. I'm going to go over here and kind of explore a little bit. There is some creepers around here, so we're mostly looking for kind of odd diamonds around here. I probably shouldn't be jumping this recklessly because we do have not the best armor and there's a lot of lava around here, but overall it's looking pretty good. So we're going to go this way and try and find that and whatever else we can find around the area. Now we do have, this area is kind of dark, so it's not going to be here. We did place the torches, so if we sort of follow the torches, if my torch trail is any good, we should be able to follow those back. And I remember I kind of circled around the lava lake before, so I think it must be, I remember I saw that crystal up there. I remember seeing that really clearly, so it might be this way. It might also be the opposite way. We could try that. It's not that big of a cave. In fact, it looks like it's over here because I see some random blocks are placed down, maybe by that other person that was mining around with us. But if we go this way, yeah, this looks like it's the way back. And there's that cave we were kind of exploring all the way. I think there's some more diamonds I missed too, because I feel like I saw some more over here. But I'm not sure. Oh, I was mining it right there. I see what it was. So I did see it. It was just really close. It's always kind of funny how looking at things from different angles and different positions, it can be kind of easier or more difficult to see if something is there or it'll look like it's something different. If, let's say, you look at maybe a certain block or item from the north or from the east or something, just kind of makes everything look a little weird, which is quite an interesting effect in the game and something to be aware of course, if you are maybe having issues finding out, like if you're getting lost a lot or whatever. Definitely something important there. But yeah, we got lots of diamonds. We actually have 12 diamonds, which is super awesome. We also have 2 great pieces of diamond armor. We have, or diamond tools. We have the sword and the pickaxe, but we can now get diamond armor. Now I want to be careful with these creepers. We do have our shield. We're going to follow the torches over this way. Again, this was the main lava lake I was doing stuff at. Absolutely huge cave, amazing cave. Definitely more diamonds here where I was before. We just want to kind of get on to other things as well. Make sure there's not just a strip mining while everyone else happens to be on a server stream. As you can see on the tab menu here, we have a ton of people here, which is awesome. Lots of people that we maybe had on Season 1, but also other things as well. So from here, there is this person. Not sure if they know where the exit is. Looks like they found some more diamonds, which is cool. Very nice of them to give those to me. And we have 12. Then if it'll load 14. So look at that. They found 2 more diamonds as well. So it seems to be a pretty successful mining trip. I think this is the way up. I'm not actually sure. Probably isn't, honestly, because there should be some torches here. So I try and find the way back from there. But I think that I believe that it was from a cave. And it would be right around here because we kind of found it. In fact, I believe it was kind of the split between that way and that way. Like they could kind of go this way or this way. So it should be like up here maybe. So this is probably the direction to go. You can see there's some lava pouring down there. I'm not sure why. Kind of interesting. But we will get our cobbled deep slate and sort of make ourselves a safe path to get back up here because I believe, unless it's just very laggy lava, this is probably the way to get back, and then we can be aware of that, of course. Yes, this looks like the way back, though, through this weird cobblestone. And look at that, we can kind of use the water to swim all the way up back to where our base was, which is at the top of this huge thing. Hopefully our base is still there and survived. It should. And if we keep going this way, we can kind of, yeah, see we're kind of going out of the deep slate layer. Always so cool to watch things like this, sort of like a super easy water elevator. Someone says fire protection or blast protection for ancient debris mining. Definitely blast protection, unless of course you're doing the strip mining method, which in that case it would be fire protection for ancient debris mining. And here we're back to our base. You can see there's some people there already. Not sure if our base will look any different or the same, but we did get some more materials that we can kind of bring back to the base. And yeah, I'll say it looks a bit different, just a little bit. Just a little bit different. They've definitely decorated it quite a bit, which is nice. This says renovations by Sinrax, so thank you to Sinrax for that. They kind of use the trick I was talking about of using the stairs for the windows, which I like quite a bit. But the interior is still looking pretty similar. Now what I'm going to do is I think we're going to get our other materials that we had. So for instance, the crafting table area, I think we want to expand it into an enchanting area. So you can do that. And someone said they just finished a design for a blaze farm on a creative world, which is definitely pretty cool. It's always fun to design your own farms and then sort of make things based off of that. So let's put away our loot in here. We have 14 diamonds, which is definitely quite useful. And from that, we just need leather and sugarcane, which we do have. So we'll just use that to craft it. Something else we do need actually is obsidian, and I remember where to get it. There was a lava lake this way in the snow. So if we go this direction, then we can hopefully get that. Now someone might have claimed it already, but I'm assuming they haven't. Because I remember earlier on in the snow biome here, there was a lava lake, and in that biome that we can get this. And again, if you're just logging in here, or not logging in, this is the year 2000, but if you're just joining in the stream, of course, what's basically happening is this is my multiplayer server, play.eyecraftmc.com. This is the first day, first couple hours of the next season of the server. And so if you're wondering what's going on here, this is not the standard Survival Live series. This is kind of a variant of it, of like a multiplayer live thing. And of course we do have the obsidian here, which is nice. But basically, I'm just going to be going through a bit of survival on the server here. Again, for about 3 hours tends to be the average for a stream. And from that point, of course, then we might do other things. But mostly just is about having a great way of introducing this series. And we have a random Steve skin person over here, which is interesting. Usually the Steve and Alex skinned people are from Bedrock Edition, because unfortunately there tends to be some issues with that. We do, awesomely enough, have Bedrock connectivity on here. And someone says, is this the public server? It's not technically public, but it's basically easy enough to join that it's public. And I was just given the gift of a single pork chop, so thank you for that. if it'll let me pick it up there. We're going to try and mine the obsidian here. It may take a while because, of course, how much lag there is. It seemed to disappear, but we're going to hope that it actually does drop in a second here. If not, I'll probably have to decide a different way of getting obsidian than just mining it like this, because we, of course, do need 4 obsidian if we want to get ourselves the enchanting table. So that one did seem to drop, so we should be good. And that would be a second one that we've technically broken too. This will be the third one right here. We just have to kind of believe that it'll break in a second here, I guess, is kind of seems to be the issue, is it's like it'll kind of double try and figure out if it's breaking or not. We'll try and break this one in a second here, and we will grab the obsidian down here and the rest of those things there. Someone says take away the water so that it takes longer to mine, or because it takes longer to mine. It actually doesn't unless you're in the water. So if you're in the water, it does take longer, but if you're not in the water, it's the exact same amount of time whether or not the water is there, which is kind of interesting because, of course, when you're swimming around, that's affected by things like aqua affinity, this mining speed underwater. But then in a situation like this, because we're not currently being underwater, then we're pretty fine. And also thank you to Thank you to everyone on the super chats there. We have a super chat here from Bruce Christie. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate all the donations. And actually the super chats are great because they're what directly supports this server. So I run this server myself, and of course there are server costs involved. But really what's awesome is that the server costs are covered by all the super chats from everyone here. So thank you for that. And someone was saying that the viewership might be a little low because it's the match of Argentina in the soccer there, so that could definitely be the case. I know a lot of people, of course, enjoy watching soccer live, and so that definitely would make sense here. I know, of course, Minecraft in general isn't super popular right now, but I think that's mostly based on people finishing up their school and their sort of that kind of part of it. But either way, we're going to head back here. We do now have our 4 obsidian. I guess I technically should have mined more, but I didn't want to kind of bore the stream for too long for just mining all these random blocks, because of course we do want to get going on our base build and kind of continue it on. I was enjoying that design of the renovation that that person did, so we may actually take that design and sort of use it, continue it on. Let's take a look here though what we have. And someone says Eyecraft is the best YouTuber. Well, thank you for that. All right, so we have the materials. So we will just craft this first, the book. So of course the book is our 3 sugarcane, 3 paper, and the leather. And then with that we can make our enchanting table there. We don't have any bookcases, but that's okay for now. In terms of where it should go, I like the little snow farm they built here. I'm not exactly sure. I guess we could probably put it here. Kind of mine this wall away a little bit. We could put away our materials there, and then from that point we can put the enchanting table and have the books be rotated around that, or sort of aligned around that correctly, just like this. And it'll kind of match with the smelting area, I think, too. We could have like a bit of a divider between it. That's a good one. Someone says it's their birthday today, so happy birthday to Dace there in the chat. And also someone says any tips on building mega bases? Well, absolutely, with mega bases there's some great tips I can share. The first one would be you want to plan them out extensively. You do not want to start one until you know exactly what you're going to make. The other thing I would say with a mega base is that, of course, if you think about all the different things that are inside of a mega base, let's say, you know, a villager area, a giant crop farm, maybe like a, you know, sort of visually appealing area, like a inside aquarium or something. You sort of want to get the idea for these things and then find out where you want them to be. Then once you've decided that, then you can kind of plan out in your base, well, this will be the room for this, and to make sure that you just have the entire process be fairly planned. But once you've done that, it's as easy as just making sure you also have a good location, and then having a good way of getting those resources, like let's say a mega base made out of course, diamond blocks, isn't going to really be that realistic. But a mega base that's made out of spruce planks, or, you know, let's say stone bricks or deep slate tiles or something. These kind of materials are going to be a lot easier to get huge numbers of. And we have a super chat from Dar Smith there, and it is for $5. I think it's Australian, and it says, I'm enjoying the stream in SMP while I'm recovering. So, and thank you. Well, thank you so much for that. I'm so glad that the stream has been helpful for you there, and hopefully you recover well. And we'll do this. Let's go over this way. we have 12 diamonds, which is so exciting because 12 diamonds is going to enable us to start getting ourselves some armor and other things like that. We could even enchant a little bit, maybe get some efficiency too, which isn't that useful, but you know, kind of fun. We also have a second super chat from Bruce Christie as well, and it says, my son Trevor loves your new world. Well, that's really cool. This world is my SMP, so basically this world will be open for anyone to play on. It is actually open for anyone to play on right now if you're whitelisted, and you can do that again by joining my Discord server, getting your SMP role under I think it's rules and info, and then of course from that point you can do other things as well. And this is actually really good at breaking too, efficiency too, for like 0 things around it. May as well enchant that too, why not? Our levels are pretty low, so it's not going to matter too much, but a little bit of enchantments here is nice. And of course if anyone else wants to get enchantments here also, I'll just put a little chest nearby. We can put some lapis in there and people can kind of decide what they want to do with that. And these things are looking nice and sorted, so I'll try and keep it sorted. I'll put our planks somewhere. I'm trying to think of a place to put them. But overall, it's looking good. I like the renovations out here. This little deck out here is nice too. I guess probably an ideal idea, sort of a good idea, would be to sort of make the outside of the base over here look good as well. Kind of make a good entrance. So what I might do is I might make some more of these slabs. We can do a bit of building here, which would be kind of fun. So there's some books already, so we're getting some higher levels on here, which is quite good. And someone asks, can they join the SMP on Bedrock? Absolutely you can. That's a great thing about it, is that it is completely, works perfectly for the Bedrock people as well as for the Java people. So we're going to do that. And we definitely need more logs eventually. So I think that maybe a good idea would be if we build the, if we get an axe. So we can do that. Looks like someone's trying to break this because they want to get something there, so we may as well break that as well. Kind of funny, like the half broken look to that, bit of a glitch. But we can put this over here and of course make the enchanting area better. To actually this amethyst here would look good, I think, in the floor for an enchanting area. So we'll maybe surround this in amethyst blocks, get ourselves a nice base to this. I kind of like that idea. And we can kind of decorate it like this. Maybe one further out over here. Could definitely look good, and of course with some other decorations around there as well later on. I think that's going to totally make this look better once the base is a bit more finished. And of course thank you to everyone who's kind of around here helping me on the base. I appreciate that. We have our storage system kind of taking shape here a bit. And maybe like a wall here would actually make sense because of the way that it's getting set up. This seems like a mine entrance. We'll put some torches here so we don't have any mobs spawn by accident, of course. And then we can take a look at this design that this person has made and maybe potentially look into increasing it. So like maybe over here, we get some more of these. I guess they are the stairs. So we could get our crafting table here, make some more of the spruce stairs, and then continue on that just like this. And of course I would go on this way and kind of mine this out a bit more. Someone said, can you put smite on an axe? You can put smite on an axe. So that's a really great thing about axes, is that they have the ability to have Bane of Arthropods or smite or sharpness on them. And so because of that, if you ever want sort of a more PvP based axe, then you can do that. And we also have another question. They're saying, how do you join the SMP? Well, all you have to do to join the SMP is if you look right now at the, and I'll only answer this a couple more times because I've answered it a couple times already. But basically what you want to do is you want to join my Discord server. Now, if you don't have Discord, it's it's like a social media. It's really easy to connect to that. And then once you've done that, the Discord server link is in the chat there. And then from that point, what you can do is you can go to the section of it that is rules and info, and you can get the SMP member rank by just pressing this button. Then you can put down your Minecraft username, like let's say for me it's Eyecraftmc. Put that underneath the new channel that you unlock, which is called Post Your Username. If you're having any trouble, feel free to message an admin and get their help, or a moderator or a helper. And also thank you to rbob775 for joining the iSquad. rbob is one of our moderators there and on the server here. So really thank you to them for that, and also of course for joining the iSquad. So we're going to continue this a little bit. I think that we can sort of flatten this out a little bit, make it a bit nicer. And I think also like building a garden eventually could be good. Getting some rose bushes. I might do that in a second here. And once we get to the nether, if it's not, taken already, because I do tend to suggest this a lot, I'll grab a couple of those bone blocks from the Soul Sand Valley. And from there we can then, of course, get some redstone, or not some redstone, but some red flowers, so the roses, and we can bone meal that to duplicate them with the bone meal from the Soul Sand Valley. So there's actually some more coal here as well, which is kind of nice. We're going to finish this up here too. Looks like they have a good design here with the sort of bit of a ceiling. And then beneath that we have some other things as well. So I think we'll continue that on. I like that design for a nice little starter base. Like, I'm not sure what I'll do long term on here, but for now it's looking good. And I think that we also have these stripped logs. We do have some standard logs. So we'll break this and put down another pillar of the spruce. Generally good to place down spruce as is and strip it later, just because of the fact of it usually tending to be a bit more effort if you're going to do it without that. And of course, here's the person that actually made the renovations there, putting some cobblestone down for support, and we can put that there. And I think we'll get the window blocks in a second here as well. But I actually do like this design quite a bit, sort of similar to some of the things I was talking about in my building video. Again, it's always a good idea to kind of get a more basic design and then to continue it on and to take that design and go with that instead of, for example, always trying to make everything be unique. It's good to also have parts of a base, parts of a build that are a repetition of the same pattern for a while can look really good. So we'll place these here, and then we can also kind of finish up this. But overall, the base is looking really good. I'm happy with this. I like the little stone blocks there. It really is working quite well. And I think what we're going to do after a second here is we're actually going to see what everyone else is doing, which is half the fun of playing on a world like this, is seeing what's going on. Again, if you're just joining the stream wondering what's going on, this is my SMP, play.eyecraftmc.com. It actually says how to get whitelisted on there as well if you just join it, because you can join it without being whitelisted, just not the SMP part, but the lobby. But anyway, I think we're pretty close to the spawn. Let me just mark the coordinates so I don't not be able to find my base again. But we'll do that real quick, and then I believe spawn would be that direction goes lower, so it would be this way. So you just have to go this way for like 200 blocks and we'll be good. Seems to be some random bits of base, like a smelter there, and we see some other things around here. But overall, I think this is a good start to the SMP. Everything seems to be going pretty well so far. Connection issues doing a bit better. And of course, more long-term, once it's been settled out a little bit, I'm sure player average will be closer to maybe 50 or 60 concurrent. And so it'll be a lot less laggy and much more like a standard survival world, just with a lot of people on it. And again, I think just this way, we're gonna get a lot closer to the spawn point there. It's always funny to me, big wide areas open like this, where no one's decided to put something. You think this would be a great place for a base, but apparently that's not what someone thought. And I think we'll just grab these mixed flowers. And these mixed flowers remind me of something, which is the fact of how the generation of flowers changed in Minecraft 1.18. You know, the way that flowers used to generate, it would be a patch of one type of flower, then a patch of a different type of flower. And although that does still kind of happen in certain scenarios, in a lot of biomes it's changed. So now you get it, so there's patches of flowers, but it's always a patch of a mixed type of flowers. And if you have like a bit of an old part of your world and a new part, maybe things before and after 1.18, you can kind of see the difference there between like the way the flowers generate, especially I found in flower forests. It seems like flowers are a lot less common in flower forests in Java Edition 1.19 and 1.18. But in Bedrock, I think that flowers are much more common inside of the flower forest. Although funny enough, I was playing some Bedrock a little bit a while ago, but I think it was because of my dyes guide, and I was inside of a flower forest, and there was very few trees. And so I'm not sure if any of the Bedrock viewers know this or not, probably a lot do. But something I noticed, maybe it's not always like this, but it seems that the flower forest in Bedrock just does not have a lot of trees at it, which is quite an interesting thing, because of course it is a flower forest, not like a flower fields or a flower, you know, parklands or whatever. Definitely is a forest, so that's interesting. But here we're getting near the spawn point again. We can kind of see people starting on stuff. I'm not sure if people will build on the big mountain or not. They might. The spawn point here might eventually change, so I wouldn't suggest people to build anything too permanent at the spawn. As of course I think that long term, definitely the goal would be to have some different community things here. But for now, having whatever setup doesn't really matter too much. We have a very first day spawn here set up. I like this kind of gate looking thing. That's kind of cool, with just the basic blocks here, and so people can read the rules. And yeah, we have a bit of a fake forest here, a farm. and we have all these bases that are starting to appear everywhere. And I'm sure if we keep exploring around, most players right now are probably just like underground or something, mining, or maybe hiding somewhere else. We could take a look at the pillager outpost over here and see if there's something there. It looks like people have stolen all the logs, which is quite funny, probably because they're dark oak. Then they can have that supply of dark oak to build with. Speaking of stealing things from the pillager outpost, actually, if we still have those shears on us, which we don't, it would have been sheer genius if we had them on us, but we don't. So I think what would be really cool is if we grab the wool from there, and then with those, we can honestly make some stuff with that. There's a lot of pillagers, so we may not end up doing that. Seems to be someone who's running away as we speak, as we approach. So we might be here for like just a second to try and steal a couple of the blocks from the pillagers here, which is kind of funny. Just because we don't have any sheep right now, we can sort of steal some of their wool. Because the pillagers tend to be fairly not that dangerous if there's just a couple of them. So it's always good to be aware of that. With a couple other players here, maybe they'll try and trigger the other players, go after them, and then we can kind of easily grab the wool as they're distracted with them. So we'll grab these wool blocks here and get this. And that's actually one of the new default skins. I think that's one's called Sunny. That may not be true, but I believe that is true. Yeah, the different. It's definitely one of the new default skins. I just don't remember the name of it. But something I learned about that skin actually a little while ago is it has a robot arm. You can see this one does. It's like a metal arm. It's kind of interesting there. A little Easter egg there. I'm not really sure. It doesn't really make sense with Minecraft's medieval theme for something to have a robot arm, but it is kind of a cool little feature there. But either way, we'll take a look around here for anything else of interest, of little bases being set up, just seeing people playing. And also as we do that, we can collect other materials for our own base, for our own things, like maybe some sand here. Maybe not actually exactly that, but as an example. And we can kind of continue to go around here looking for things. Lots of gold armor people. I'm not exactly sure why. It could be because of the ruined portals, or maybe also for some other reasons as well. So I'm not exactly sure what that's about. Could also be people that have gone to the nether and have found that inside of chests that are in the nether. Because I did see that portal there. I never went through it. Actually, that's a good idea, because there was that portal we saw that was in the snow biome. So if we go to that snow biome again, we could travel through that nether portal. Then from there, maybe try and get ourselves some better materials. So for example, of course, it'd be really good to have the materials you find in the nether. Like let's say, of course, the nether wart, the nether woods would be good, but the biggest thing is the bone blocks that I can think of. Looks like some people definitely did not care about this village house, just wanted to get the wood items from that. So it's always kind of interesting to see the mixing of different play styles. You have people that are just going through grabbing random blocks, but you also have people that are, you know, taking what's generated and they're just going to kind of go with that and not really destroy it. Let me just have my coordinates up for a second. I know a lot of people don't really like the coordinate screen being up, but I just need to know for a second which direction to go. It should be this way. Here we have another random player around here, which I don't think they actually noticed that I'm here, which is kind of funny. But what we will do is we will make a crafting table, make a boat, and there's a lot of rivers here at the central kind of plains biome. And so with that, we can then use it to, of course, travel around and go to places quicker, because there's that forest near the spawn. So we should be able to get fairly close to that. And we can go that way as well. Someone said they think that gold armor looks pretty good. That's why they're using it. I could be. I'm not exactly sure if that's the reason, but that is an interesting idea for sure. I'll keep going this way. We can kind of try and take a look around here for different things that are being done. And of course, I'm sure eventually there'll be different farms. The end is disabled right now, so no one can fight the Ender Dragon yet. We will have an Ender Dragon fight pretty soon here. You just want to be aware of maybe letting it be more of an event, or then like one player or two players will speedrun it, and it'll kind of be the end of that. So keeping it as a challenge can always be good. If you're wondering how many people are on right now, there is definitely a lot. As you can see, there is the tab list. There's tons of different people on there. We have all kinds of people on the server right now, which is awesome. I'm sure there's also some waiting in the lobby as well. So this way leads to our house, because you can see there is that farmland, and we have 12 diamonds on us. We don't want to lose those 12 diamonds. And so because of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to store those 12 diamonds in my chest, and then we can go to the nether safely without that risk. So let's see what we have here. We have, there's our storage. So we'll actually put them in the enchanting area, I think. Maybe in one of these chests here. I think this one here, we'll put our diamonds. Let's hopefully no one steals them. And then trying to keep this sorted, we'll put away some of the cobblestone. We'll put away our tools for now, just like this. and we'll kind of switch to our iron tools to make sure it's a bit less of a risk, I guess. And we can grab any other iron we have to make a second iron pickaxe, because I would always suggest definitely not having your most valuable items be with you the first time you go to the nether. Always really important to not do that, as of course you can definitely lose them and die. Like, someone actually built another portal here, which is pretty cool, so that's quite convenient. And see if we can find anything else here. But anyway, it's probably enough actually. We might grab, let's see what else is around here. I don't see any more iron. I'm not sure if it was all used, but either way, I will go through the nether portal here though, see what's through here. Maybe something of interest. I'm hoping it's a Soul Sand Valley. I don't actually know what the biome is here, but we'll take a look and go through here. It might take a little minute for it to go through the portal actually, just because of the lag. And so go through here, and if someone's wondering why it's lagging, it is because there is like over 100 players on. The server itself is incredibly high quality. I think there's about 50 gigabytes allocated to this. It's just that Minecraft doesn't run very well with this many players on no matter what. And it is a Soul Sand Valley, so we got our wish, which is awesome. I had literally no idea what the biome was. I'd never looked at the nether on this seed. And we have here, look, a singular unrated fossil right here, which is exactly what I wanted as well, which is so perfect. And we do have decent armor. No gold though, so we have to be careful of that piglin over there. We'll have to be careful of these skeletons as well. We'll maybe use the boat method. We do have a boat on us. We could use that to potentially get that, but we'll try and get these skeletons if we can. Of course, there's 2 of them against us now. A 2v1 isn't super fair, but skeletons are pretty easy, so we can just get those quite easily there, as long as we can hold up our shield. And again, in terms of lag, it should get a little bit better later on. So we'll grab this. And of course, also, like before we had our iron armor, it's a lot riskier. It's kind of funny. It's like the skeletons are defending the big bone as if it's like one of their, I don't know, relatives or something. It'd be kind of crazy if like these massive fossils, like if any of them could come alive, like a giant skeleton or something. That'd be a really cool boss actually to have inside of the nether, would be like a living fossil. Because of course, skeletons are living fossils actually, now that I think about it. That's kind of funny to think about, but it's true. And so because of that, of course, having the skeleton kind of have like a version of themselves around there, it does make sense that they're in this biome, but also maybe having more to it would be cool as well. Now we have standard nether. Again, no one's really, I don't think people have been to the nether too much yet because it's pretty early on. There is a ghast, of course, but we're going to kind of hide over here next to this fossil. With most mobs in the nether, they're not very smart, so as long as you can't see them, they can't see you. So we're good there. We're going to get this piglin here if we can, and kind of try and not die in this very laggy nether biome, but here we got it. And then we will, I think I hear a crossbow as well, maybe not. It must be delayed. And we will finish up the rest of this sort of, like, I think it's like a rib or something. I'm not exactly sure what this fossil is meant to look like, but it is a good one. And I do hear the ghast there, which is incredibly laggy. We'll see if we can hit it back. I feel like it's going to be 100% impossible to dodge the ghast fireballs when it's this laggy as it is. It's even like light lag can be quite difficult to do that, but it's pretty close. We should be able to actually hit it if we're careful. In fact, yeah, we should build it really easily. It's like right in front of us. It's kind of not the smartest idea for the ghast, but do we be able to get its stuff, or do they just burn in fire? Probably burnt, but I did see something drop, so it could be here. It's hard to say actually. I think it did burn though, because I don't see it in my inventory or around here, but either way, we will go back over here to this fossil, grab that once we have a couple more bone blocks. Just trying to get some before everyone else does, of course. Always is a good idea, because then it can be much more difficult to find them. You'll have to go really far out to kind of find all the bone blocks and things, and we can make our way over here just like this, which is not very the smartest idea. You know, bridging out like that isn't super safe. But it doesn't really matter right now because we have the sort of, there's no ghasts there. Someone says, how do they join? I already mentioned that earlier, but more or less you need to get whitelisted to join the server, and so you'll have to wait to be whitelisted until after the stream. But there are people that will whitelist as soon as the stream is over, so no problem. And of course the stream itself, or the server itself, will be on for a long time after that. Now we have a question, and it says, any tips for finding a stronghold in the nether? My nether is a bunch of floating islands, and I've been struggling to find one. Yes, there's really only one technique of finding nether fortresses, and that is using a seed finder, so like chunk base. Of course, something you can do as well, if you want, it does work, is to basically copy your world, and then or even just remake your world with the same seed. And you can actually do like the /locate command in that world and find it that way, but I would generally tend to suggest not doing that. What I would say is if you want to use a seed finder, like chunkbase.com, you just put in your world seed. You can find that by typing in /seed. And then from that point, it's pretty easy to just find out where it is. The only way of doing it, without any seed finders, the only way that I know of is to basically just explore in one direction. You want to mark out your path really well so you don't get lost. And then from that point, it can be fairly easy to do. But I think we're almost out of bone blocks that we can grab. I think I'll just get a drink of water here. And we have that. And I will head back to my base, so hopefully this connects correctly. Oftentimes in an SMP there's so many portals, they'll connect incorrectly. But we'll see if this one is right. And we're back. There we go. And we actually have some copper blocks in our roof, which is useful, I guess. We'll mine those out. But overall we have that, and let's take a look here. So I think it'll be up to us to finish our base now, of course. They're working on the farm apparently. But I think I'll probably make an entrance out here. So I think what would be good is if we kind of increase this here and then maybe make it be like a loop. So something like this would look good. Maybe even a little bit higher up, like something like that. And we can, of course, use better blocks, but as just the idea of it. Like for instance, right here, we could break these blocks here and replace them with some of these spruce logs, and we could do the stripped spruce logs there like that, and strip those to get like a nice bit of a start to what would be the entrance over here, maybe even making some walls and things there. But we do now have the bone blocks, so what we want to look for is some tall flowers, and I do see some in the forest over there, so we're going to look for our tall flowers. We're going to grab those, and then we can use them to add on to our base. And if people are wondering what the server rules are, they are shown at the spawn point. But as well as that, the server rules are also on the Discord there. If you're wondering what they are, they're pretty standard. Just no stealing, no swearing, no griefing or things like that. But generally it tends to be like a fairly not crazy amount of rules on the server. Just of course, nothing to make the experience of other people be negative. Like for instance, stealing isn't very nice. And so it makes the experience worse for other people when stealing is allowed, which is not allowed. So we're trying to find rose bushes. We found the peonies, and the rose bushes should be fairly common. Can't find them though, so we'll see how common they are. Maybe they're a favorite of people, so we'll see if they can find those. We could just use the peonies like I showed in the build tutorial yesterday. I had some in there. We'll take a look at what we have around here, kind of exploring the server a bit more too. Looks like that kind of goes underground. It actually freezes there a little bit, which is cool. The frozen cave. I don't usually go to snow biomes too often, but it is interesting to see what those aquifer caves look like being frozen. Because the tall flowers will not generate in the tall flowers will not generate inside the plains biome, so we will not be able to find either. There's actually another village. That might be the same village or a different village. We could take a look at that. And as someone was saying, everyone should like the stream if they're on it right now. By liking the stream, it does help it reach more people. And of course, as well as that, it's a great way of supporting the channel. Helps YouTube in general show my videos to more people. Minecraft in general is not doing super well right now. And so by sort of telling YouTube that you're enjoying the content, enjoying the stream, it definitely is super helpful for YouTube to know that there are people that are enjoying this Minecraft content. So it'll actually help that as well. And someone said, can they join if they don't have Discord? Unfortunately, no. Just for the main reason of moderation purposes. We can't really effectively moderate the server without allowing people to be on the Discord as well. However, the great thing about Discord is that you can make a free account with it. Discord's also really easy to use. So basically on there, of course, Discord, I think you just need an email and a password for that. And you can join the server if you get that. And Discord, of course, is on a phone or anything else. And it's quite easy to use. I would say kind of an interesting social media for sure, because it's one that is very split up into different communities. And I don't know if I even really think of it as a social media. It definitely is, but like almost more like a texting app, sort of like WhatsApp or something like that. And go this way as well. So let's take a look at what we have here in terms of ingredients and things. Here's the rules, actually, for someone who was wondering earlier. There is the rules right there. Someone has the Optifine cape. We can literally see it's Optifine on it. There's a half-built nether portal here. And of course, we see some people working on a base here. So this person has the vanilla cape, which means that they had bedrock before that, which is pretty cool. And of course, some starter bases here. We see some bases this way too. Now I believe that our base is kind of this direction. We might actually go on top of the mountain this time to find it. And there's a very funny looking horse up there at the top. Quite strange. We're going to go this way and try and find it. As we do play some survival around on here. And it's funny, I actually wasn't thinking earlier about how someone was saying that, of course, there is the soccer going on right now live. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to watch that instead. Maybe people watching both at the same time. So that totally makes sense. But yeah, there's no rose bushes I can see either. So I think what we'll do is we'll get we'll just use the peonies here. Or peony, I think it's peony though. And it looks like a tree has grown over here at my base. I remember someone planted that because I saw that. And we can kind of maybe use the materials from that a little bit later on. And if we take a look here, we can see some good locations to put down some of these. Of course, the trick is, the reason why I got this bone meal is if you get bone meal and you also have the peonies, you can basically use both of them to duplicate this and get a whole bunch more. So as example, I'll put this down here. And if I just spam right click here, every single piece of bone meal will turn into one of these tall flowers, which is definitely quite a useful thing. And as you can see here in just a second, I should have absolutely over an entire stack of these flowers, where usually getting over a stack of anything in Minecraft flower related takes quite a bit of time. See about decorating this pathway here. Not sure if this is the best way of using them, but I think we'll do that for now. We might change it up a bit because it's actually a bit low down here, so we might actually make them be a little bit higher up using some sort of flower beds and stuff. It's always nice to add some flowers to a base just because it makes things look nicer, but as well as that, it's easier to even notice, in terms of more practical reasons. You can actually get a better idea of what your base, sort of where it is, and make it look nicer. There's like a bit of a deck here, but I was thinking it might be kind of nice to put a flower bed there, so we might do is just to get the base more decorated. Again, very easy way of decorating a base is to build a little flower thing. Even just to put some flowers down at all. And we'll place these down here, put down these. And we can surround it in the spruce stairs, I think. So we'll actually go like this, kind of a bit of a different pattern, but sort of around like here. I kind of like that idea. I might even go like this maybe. I think actually we'll do that instead. We'll kind of make it lean forward a bit here so that we can have these flowers out here in front of the base, which I like quite a bit. So we'll do that, and we'll place these down here. And we can probably make this look a bit better with like a log on the side there, and probably some trapdoors in a second here. We also have the ominous banners. We could maybe decorate with those a bit, but I don't think I will. And so we'll put these over here. Looks like there's definitely a need for a light over here. So I'm not sure what they're going to put up there, but I definitely feel like we need some better lighting. Actually, something really cool to do would be if we put like lava up there or something. It'd be quite cool. And we have these materials here. If we have Eyecraft's valuables, we can actually grab those again because we're out of the nether, of course. And we'll craft these into some armor finally. So we could make a diamond axe. We could make things like that. What we could also do is we could make armor. We could save it for like a jukebox or something. I don't think we'll do that. We could even decorate with a diamond block, but I don't think I'll do that. So I think like some diamond boots could be good. As well as that, probably we could do diamond leggings, or I don't know if we'll have enough for the helmet. And so I think we probably maybe do the leggings, I think would be good, or we could do the chest plate. I think we'll do the chest plate actually. I know I usually don't do that, but it's kind of nice to like have that one to start off with. We can kind of have our 50% diamond armor here, so it's like 50% better, I guess. Let's get some stone smelting here, and with that stone we can use that and basically take a look. And let's take a look over here as well, what we can do Our inventory is getting pretty full again. We picked up all these flowers. Let's see if there's a chest where we could put that. There isn't really, but we'll start putting these down. We actually collected a lot, which is nice. And we can kind of use those later on to decorate the base, get it looking a bit nicer. And of course, with that, then we can just kind of improve the quality of it overall and get those down here. Now, in terms of this, looks like they had just an area they mined out up there, but I think what would be really cool to do is really interesting little build ideas. I'll put glass here. And we'll actually put a lava bucket. Actually, I'll have to kind of do this in a special way, because what I would do is we'd have to place it on something. So we'll go like this, and then we can break that, and then we would put that there, put the lava, put the block, and that would just flow across there. You kind of have lava, once it's covered, lava on the roof to kind of light that up. I think that's kind of a cool looking thing, and it shouldn't spread to anything, so we'll be fine. Then we could even look into maybe enchanting these with a low-level enchantment. We can always grindstone it later, but for now, even just a bit of protection on there is definitely going to be worthwhile, that protection too. Of course, really any enchantment is better than no enchantments generally, so something like that is going to help us out a lot. And of course, just looking out here again, we can probably try and increase the size of some of our other decorations. Maybe some stairs, more stairs would look good, as well as that. Someone says press Alt F4. Yes, definitely. So what Alt F4 actually does is it will crash things. So if I did Alt F4, that of course would crash the stream. But of course I do realize that, so I'm not going to do that. It wouldn't crash the stream, but it would crash the game. So let's take a look here. These bone blocks are actually pretty good decorative wise as well. And I think I'll switch around these. I like the birch they used on the ground here, or on the wall. So I think I'll break this, and for the enchanting area, sort of have the theme include some birch. And we have some birch wood around, I believe. So it should be easy enough to just grab some of that and continue on from there. Here we go. I kind of like the Enderman suit skin. It's quite a classic skin having that. It's always kind of fun, like the Enderman suit or the creeper suit or whatever. And we'll put that in here. Hopefully placing half of these blocks correctly, which we're not, but that's fine. We'll just break those and continue on from there. And the original, the bookshelves would eventually go across there also. We can kind of go from there and take a look at that. And I think that something we can do to add a bit of quality to this is if we take these stone here and we turn them into stone bricks, which I guess we can just do in our inventory pretty easily. We can kind of mix together the things that we're using. So we could, for instance, like kind of break some of the, I guess these are, they're slabs. So we'll have to take the slabs here, and then where's the crafting? There it is. We can turn these into stone brick slabs. We can sort of try and mix this up a little bit in terms of the texture that we're using here. I'm not sure about it, like a pure checkerboard being the best. We're just kind of having a mix here could look pretty good, I think. Just having it maybe even look like it's kind of getting a little bit more cracked towards like certain areas, like maybe putting these here and then breaking this and putting the cobblestone slabs in there. Kind of like that. I like that. It sort of makes it look like it's broken up around here, sort of making it look like it's more used as well. It's always good to add little elements to things like that, and we can like put in the birch there to make it more complete. And in terms of your first starter base when you're playing Minecraft, what do you tend to like to do? Do you want to, you know, make an awesome looking starter base, or do you usually just throw something up and then later on make something better? I know there's definitely people that do both things. I'd be interested to know that what your favorite thing is to do. And of course, as well as that, I think we can improve the look of our nether portal with these magma blocks, actually. If we break these cobblestone here, adding a little bit of decoration here to the magma blocks could quite be fun. Could be quite fun. Could quite be fun. And we'll also put the slabs in here to kind of finish up the look of the staircase there, which I like. And or maybe even like put like a supporting block there could be good. Maybe even with the signs, if we don't put anything on the signs, we could sort of make it, well, that one doesn't really work. We could kind of, if we put it like this, we could make it look like a railing, sort of. Definitely a simple railing, but that one's on the wrong position again. But something like that might be interesting for sure. We have that. Then we have our nether portal here, and then we have the little bed there. And of course the snow golem. We might actually farm some of the snow here, and we could use those snowballs for something else later. And it seems like there's a room being made over here, so I'll take a look at that in just a second here. I think my shovels, I checked it when it was at 1 durability, so almost about to break. Apparently someone has their base over here, which is kind of funny. But either way, we have this. And we could actually put one of those tall flowers in that central block there. Instead of the daisy, we could put like this, which is kind of good. And we could even like take some more of these chests, craft some more chests pretty easily. And we could use these to continue on making that more of a chest wall, which is kind of a good idea, is to use the chests as a wall, kind of dividing up the space a bit. Definitely looks pretty good, which I like quite a lot. Now let's see over here and see what we could get. Someone says they've written their name under the SMP whitelist, and all you have to do is basically just wait until after the stream. Then once there's a check that appears next to your name, then what you can do is you can just join play.eyecraftmc.com, and from there sort of continue on, and you can join the server from that. Now I have a lot of logs, unless they're all used. They probably are all used, but we can take the materials here and then use those to continue on this over here. We also have this spruce, so we'll take this and we will make this be a bit more of a wall here, which I kind of like that, sort of separating off the base. Definitely looking like a pretty good base right now. A lot of different build styles mixed around, but it is looking quite nice. And we'll take a look over here, and someone said, how long is the stream? The stream is, I usually stream for about 3 hours, so it should be done not too much longer. But something I actually want to do here is we will take a look at what everyone else is doing, but in an interesting way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the chat on, and then I'm going to go into spectator mode, and basically we're going to teleport to a random player. And I guess we'll just like pick someone. We can kind of see what everyone's up to. Like this player seems to be mining. We can kind of see that they're doing on that. We can see there's just like a massive ravine they found, absolutely crazy. And we can go from there. We can teleport over to a different person and see what they're working on. They have a little base over here at the villager house, which definitely makes sense. I'm not sure if this is one of those villages I went to earlier. I think it is. In fact, I think this is really close to my base, because there's this thing up here. And then my base is just over here. Yes, that's actually quite close. And we could TP to, let's say, this person here. Take a look at what they're doing. We can see they're kind of, just during the game, they're looking at this massive cave. We could TP to Dirtbag. That's a person that's always donating. Very, very nice of them, very generous. And you can see that they're caving, hopefully trying to find iron for probably armor, I'm assuming. And we can see what else we have around here to take a look at. And we could kind of just TP around here. This person's at the Mushroom Island, so there is a giant Mushroom Island on this server, and you can see that person right there is basically going around from mushroom to mushroom, probably collecting it for some food, or maybe just exploring the Mushroom Island to try and eventually find out where they want to build their base. As it's such a absolutely huge Mushroom Island, they want to kind of find out what to do. And again, we can teleport to other people as well. Take a look, maybe a zombie killer here. It looks like they have leather armor. Now, I always find leather armor to be such an interesting choice, because leather armor is not, of course, the best, but then having those colors there and sort of as like a decorative thing is definitely quite a cool thing. And you can see the chat is just full of like people getting achievements because people are working on this really quickly. Like this base over here is actually starting to look really nice. I'm assuming it's going to be full of glass eventually. But either way, it's definitely looking really good, and we'll just continue to teleport around here. We'll do this person. And we can see this one is mining in the sandstone, and we can go on to that. And again, just kind of going through here, sort of just a random Steve here running off into the sunset, which is always interesting. And you can actually see here some more of the bases that are being set up, like this little sky base here. Not really a sky base, sort of a strange tower base. This is definitely like what most people's starter bases are like, something like this. And we have a nice little farm here that's surrounded by the walls, which is cool. Seems like most people are starting farms right now as well. And again, we have all kinds of interesting things that I'm sure are going on. So for instance, we could see what Limited's doing. That's one of our moderators. They're living inside of a mushroom. I love that. That's really fun. Of course, we have our Limited's shroom, and they're inside of that. On the massive Mushroom Island, there's lots of work being done here. This is maybe the location of this group of players called Peace Isle. In fact, you can see that we have a huge amount of players here. We have Father Ice, Pifflander, Moogie, or Muji, I think, Mythic Mutations, this is actually the person who made the art for the emotes there. And yeah, they're all working together on this fun thing. It's definitely kind of a cool starter base to start their thing. On here, of course, in the middle of a mushroom, and this person here is running around towards this village. Again, I think this is a different village this time. Seems like probably most of the villages are getting going through pretty soon. Someone says, what's the code to Bedrock? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but if you're running with the IP, it's the default IP, and that all those things are on the Discord server. There's a cool base here in the middle of the wall. Well, they actually found a mob spawner, a skeleton spawner. That is incredibly rare and super, super lucky, actually. That is crazy that that happened. Like, how far is this from spawn? That's pretty close, actually. To find a mob spawner like that is super rare, that's really, really cool. Of course, we have the snow biome here. We could probably even find just more people by floating around here, like this person right here. Kurlak seems to be making a kind of icy farm here in the middle of the snow biome. Always a bit of an issue there is the snow melting there. But we can see around here the snow freezing the water there, so the crops will die. And of course, we have this huge plains biome that lots of people are going to be living across, including like the villages. This village seems to be fairly unclaimed. There is one person here. But generally it seems to be just kind of sitting here, not too destroyed yet. There's still the cauldrons and things. And we have all kinds of interesting things that are being built here. Let's teleport to a couple more people and just see what everyone's up to on the server. So we'll do this. Let's see, this person is boating around, maybe trying to explore for a place to build a base. All kinds of interesting things going on there for sure. And of course, again, if you want to be playing on the server, feel free to join it. Just play.eyecraftmc.com, and it's pretty easy to get on the whitelist there. And we have here more people on the Mushroom Island, maybe part of Peace Isle or maybe part of a different group. It's actually a huge island. In fact, it's probably one of the biggest mushroom islands I've ever found. So it's a really cool thing there that we have that also. And I want to be teleport to Withered here. Are they truly withered? Doesn't look like it. They don't have the wither effect or a wither skin, but that is actually also pretty near to my base. We can see here actually how close. I didn't realize. Is this my base? I know it's a different island. Or it's a different mountain. So this is the mountain at spawn. We can kind of see here all these different things. It looks like SoulKit joined the server for the first time. Shout out to them. They're one of our moderators. They do a great job. So welcome to the server to SoulKit there. And of course, we're seeing everything get started up here. But either way, don't go to survival right now or I'll die. I'll switch to survival here. Either way, if you enjoyed this stream, make sure to like it. That's about the end of this. Unfortunately, we'll have to continue on later, but I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to press the like button. Make sure to also join the server. There's all kinds of info on it. We have a lot of exciting things that are going on here, and hopefully you enjoyed this stream and are having a great Saturday. I'll see you in the next video, and have a great day. Goodbye.